Uniontown. Visit www.fastsigns.com/599.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
You have been listening to the Dog Tech Club with Whip Shedler, Rob Doria, and today's guests. Brought to you each Wednesday at 3:15 by American Legion, Post 51 on Route 40 in Uniontown, AMVET's General George Marshall, Post 103 on Buttermilk Lane, Hopwood, Fast Signs, 140 Morgantown Street in Uniontown, and California Army-Navy Surplus Store, 1148 Wood Street in California. It's time for another C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Day coverage of Uniontown High School Baseball presented by Penn Residential Services here on WMBS and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Also brought to you by Mamaruka's Pizza Shop, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, Tetsova & Son Auto and Fender Repair, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, Jimmy John's in Uniontown, Ford of Uniontown, Shop and Save in Uniontown, M&R Transit, Potter's Bar and Grill, Sisson Pre-Owned, the Radcliffe Law Firm, Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes, NovaCare Rehabilitation, Stewart Collision, the C. Harper Auto Group, Russ Blejo, your local Allstate insurance agent, Peach Pharmacy inside the downtown Connellsville Peach and Market, Centers for Rehab Services and physical therapist Jim Burns, and by First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Now stay tuned for the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show here on WMBS and on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
From Bailey Park in Uniontown, it's time for high school baseball action here on WMBS, the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live this afternoon. The Uniontown Red Raiders 3-3 overall, 2-3 out of Section 3 in 4A play, host the Elizabeth Forward Warriors, who are 4-1 overall, 2-1 in conference play. Brian Morozak alongside Tony Hanola. Our pregame show being brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group and insurance agent David Hughes. They will get you ready for the game. They're located at 217 West Main Street in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-9812 for the Sprouse Insurance Group. And our broadcast today is presented by Penn Residential, a human service agency providing 24 hours around-the-clock services and support for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Tony Hanola, nice to have you alongside in Uniontown, looking for a series split after the Warriors defeated the Red Raiders in 10 innings yesterday, 3-2. The game was actually scoreless through 9 before Uniontown scored 2 runs in the top of the 10th. EF answered back with 3 in the bottom of the 10th and also featured a little controversy.
Right, Brian, and you said a little bit of controversy, maybe a tough call at the plate where the Red Raiders might have thought a little bit differently about the call by the umpire, but regardless, I mean, to play a 10-inning game and not score within the first 9 innings is pretty tough, especially after Uniontown had played 3 games in a row where they scored double figures, and then to go yesterday without scoring anything for 9, scoring 2 in the top of the 10th, but then not being able to hold that lead. That's a pretty tough loss, and hopefully they can bounce back here today and get a win. Christian
Thomas won 7 scoreless innings on the mound yesterday for Uniontown. Of course, he won't be available to pitch. He'll be playing shortstop. It'll be Hunter Chuck on the mound for the Red Raiders, the junior getting the start, and Isaiah Hart will be on the mound for Elizabeth Forward. Should be a lot of fun this afternoon from Bailey Park in Uniontown. And when our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show continues, we'll talk to Uniontown head coach Kenny Musco here on WMBS, the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
Penn Residential is a fast-growing human services agency currently seeking full-time and part-time direct support professionals to provide direct care and support for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities inside residential homes within local communities. If you are seeking a rewarding experience by making a difference in the lives of others, Penn Residential Incorporated wants to hear from you. Their direct support professionals partner with adults and children with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their circles of support to help them achieve independence, growth, and happiness through high-quality creative services. Candidates must possess good communication skills, have a valid state driver's license, clean driving record over the past 3 years, and have reliable transportation. At Penn Residential, direct support professionals will receive full benefits after 90 days and a 401k retirement plan with 6% employer match. Benefits also include medical and prescription drug insurance, vision and dental insurance, accrued time off, life insurance, and holiday pay. Penn Residential is a licensed and qualified provider under Pennsylvania's DPW's Office of Developmental Programs. Their homes serve residents in Fayette, Washington, and Westmoreland counties in southwestern Pennsylvania. For more information about current career opportunities, visit PennResidentialInc.com/careers, or to schedule an interview, email info@PennResidentialInc.com or call 724-635-0048. Penn Residential Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Visit C. Harper Chevy and drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox with all-wheel drive for only
only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Residency restrictions apply while supplies last. Sale ends May 3rd, 2021. Call a dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000 or visit charperchevy.com.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sproulsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
I'm attorney Bill Martin of Radcliffe Law, and I've handled all sorts of workplace accident cases over the past 10 years. When you're hurt at work, your employer's main goal is to get you back to work. But you may not be physically ready to return. If you find yourself in a similar situation, call our workers' compensation team at Radcliffe Law at 724-439-3939. We'll meet with you and answer your questions at no cost. Radcliffe Law, making the law personal.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Brian Morozak back on the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show. Uniontown hosting Elizabeth Ford. High school baseball on WMBS this afternoon. Earlier on this week, I had an opportunity to talk to Uniontown head baseball coach Kenny Musco. And Kenny, you open up this series against Elizabeth Ford. You actually won 3 straight coming into this series with the Warriors really playing some pretty good baseball after you ran into a buzzsaw against Bell Vernon and opened up your season.
Yeah, it was good. I think, like I said, in the paper and whatnot, now we're young. We have a good bit of young guys, a lot of sophomores, a couple good juniors and a couple seniors there. But overall, we're young. You know, a lot of kids. Obviously, COVID hurt everybody. But yeah, man, it was nice to bounce back, and I think it was shell shock a little bit. You come out against a couple decent players on that Bell Vernon team, and you know, all around well coached. They ran on us a little bit, put us in there some predicaments that you're just not ready for early in the season. So, you know, I just hope to keep it rolling right now.
I think a lot of teams certainly in the same predicament right now, as you said, with last spring getting wiped out, really not knowing what to expect this season. And you look at this conference this year, I think certainly plenty of balance.
Yeah, it's promising as far as competitive level. I think a lot of teams are pretty equal, and I think we got a good chance to make a run. And it's a bonus if we can pull it off this year. You know, I'm shooting for a 500 record this year, but if we can pull a couple tricks out of the hat, you know, I think we'll be okay.
I'm sure it's nice having Laurel Highlands back in the section as well, as far as the local rivalry is concerned.
It's good. It's good and bad. You know what I mean? You always want to win that one. And Coach Seabury and I both, you know, we get along really well. It's nice that, you know, everyone shares a little bit of information back and forth about other teams and whatnot. So if we don't do well, we do want them to do well, vice versa. So it is kind of nice. You know, it's nice. It gives the community something to look forward to. I know, you know, it's always a big game, and everyone gets excited for it. So it is kind of nice.
Elizabeth Ford on the docket this week. They split an opening series against Greensburg-Salem, and then they actually played a couple of District 9 opponents last week, defeating St. Mary's and Brookville.
Yeah, I'm hoping to, you know, you obviously do your research and you hear from these guys, you know, the other teams that played them and whatnot. Obviously, they played Greensburg-Salem, so I tried to get as much as I could there from the coaches and whatnot. And, you know, they have a couple tough arms. And, you know, we just got to go out and stay hot right now. A lot of the kids, I think, are gaining some confidence with putting the ball in play. You know, fielding-wise, I tell the team, least mistakes will win the ball game. So, I mean, go out, play your best end of the day. Whoever plays a better game will win. But, yeah, it's a big series for us. I think this is a turning point for us one way or the other for sure.
Kenny, appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you guys this afternoon.
Hey, Brian, thanks again for everything, man. Appreciate you guys.
That's Uniontown head coach Ken Musco. Stay tuned. The starting lineups and the first pitch on the way next. Uniontown hosting Elizabeth Ford High School baseball here on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
Does your car sound like it's saying, trade me in?
Trade me in. Every time you start it up, well, go to Ford of Uniontown and trade it in. That's right, your Uniontown Ford dealer is ready to assist you with a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV purchase. Ford of Uniontown has all the deals, all the inventory, and they are ready to deal. It has never been a better time to buy a Ford. Service is their top priority. No matter where you purchase your Ford car or truck, Ford of Uniontown will be happy to service it for you. They offer Ford-trained technicians, Ford-certified parts and service, 1-year, 12,000-mile parts warranties, and new state-of-the-art service equipment. Call or stop in today to see the hometown service of Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 West across from Applebee's. So listen to your car the next time you hear it say, trade me in, trade me in. Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 at the top of the hill.
Penn Residential Inc., a human services agency providing 24-hour, around-the-clock services and supports for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Their residential homes are located in local communities offering residents quality care while encouraging autonomy. They're a fast-growing company offering rewarding employment opportunities to those interested in making positive impacts in the lives of others. For information about career opportunities, visit PennResidentialInc.com/careers, email info@PennResidentialInc.com, or call 724-635-0048.
Brian Mrozak and Tony Hanula back here at Bailey Park. The Warriors to bat here in the top half of the first inning. Here's Tony with our lineup.
All right, starting out for the Elizabeth Forward Warriors will be shortstop Caden Fachek batting first. Batting second, Nate Ratika, the second baseman. Batting third, Isaiah Hart will be the starting pitcher today. Batting cleanup, Logan Cherepko playing right field. Batting fifth will be catcher Luke Alvarez. Batting sixth will be center fielder Nico Morovis. Batting seventh, A.J. Palmer playing left field. Batting eighth, A.J. Wardroper playing first base. And batting ninth will be Michael Burke, the starting third baseman today.
Couple of familiar names on this Elizabeth Forward team. In fact, they have a couple of basketball players that we've seen over the years as well. Mervos being one of them, I think Wardropper on the hoop squad as well for the Elizabeth Forward Warriors. The Red Raiders defensively here today will have Tanner Uphold out in the left, Andrew Mayer in center, and Eric Odom out in right. Around the horn, it's Austin Grego playing third, Christian Thomas playing short, Mason Kuhn playing second, and Tate Musco, the coach's son, playing first. Hunter Chuck on the mound, and Colton Sparks catching for the Uniontown Red Raiders. And we're just about set to go as Chuck finishing up his last couple of warm-up tosses. Again, our broadcast here today presented by Penn Residential Incorporated, a human service agency that provides 24 hours around-the-clock services and support for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We thank them for their support. Also have to thank the City of Uniontown for getting things together for us as well this afternoon. The Mayor, Bill Gerke, doing a nice job with some of his staff down here, getting us some power outlets installed down the first base line, and we're just about set to go. High school baseball from Bailey Park in Uniontown on a cloudy Wednesday afternoon. Game time temperature here in the upper 50s, and the Red Raiders looking for a series split with the Elizabeth Forward Warriors as Caden Fachek stepping in, only a freshman, 5'11", 165 pounds, swings and misses at the first pitch there from Chuck. And you have to wonder, Tony, these two teams played 10 innings yesterday against one another. Will pitching depth play a factor in this contest before all is said and done this afternoon?
Well, yesterday the Red Raiders used 3 pitchers where Elizabeth Forward only used 2, so they should have something left, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure both coaches are hoping they don't play 10 innings today.
Another nice pitch there from Chuck. Took a little speed off of it. In there for a strike now. 0-2 here to Fachek. You've Chuck against Fachek, and the 0-2 pitch, another breaking ball, popped up and sent foul. The Red Raiders were hoping to play some night games this year, but they actually have a lot of the light posts down around Bailey Park, so those original 7 o'clock games might have been on your early schedules, are now either 3:30 or 4 o'clock starts for the Red Raiders here in 2021. And now the 0-2 pitch on the way here again. Chuck to Fachek. As Hunter winds and fires, and a swing, get a miss, strike 3. So the Red Raiders getting a positive start here as Fachek goes down. And a quick out recorded here in the top half of the first inning. Brian Mrozak alongside Tony Hanula, Jerry Dupay behind the camera on Facebook Live, and Nick Barczyk back inside our WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios. Nate Radica now at the plate, the second baseman for the Warriors, 6 foot, 150-pound junior, batting .278. Take the first pitch low and outside for ball 1.
And right now you can see, I think both teams a little fatigued right now, Brian, just early on.
They went 10 yesterday. Again, down in Elizabeth Forward, down in the valley. Off-speed pitch. This one hit high in the air and foul down the third baseline. You might notice in your picture from time to time that the first base coach getting a little camera time there in the way of home plate. I think Jerry's going to try to move him around a little bit in the way of our camera.
he's like, where am I going to go? Which way do you want me, he says.
We're trying to find a good area to bring you high school baseball down here at Bailey Park. Next pitch on the way, fastball fouled off into the netting. They have made plenty of improvements around the park here over the years, and the field actually in pretty good shape considering the fact that we've gotten a lot of rain here over the last couple of days.
Really not in bad shape at all, Brian. And we were rained out on Monday, scheduled to play here, and this is a rescheduled game, but actually looks like everything's in pretty good shape right now.
There's Chukchek getting set to go again. Next pitch here to Radica. That one low and in the dirt. Moves the count now to 2-1. With one out here in the top half of the first inning. Again, these two teams played 9 scoreless innings yesterday. The Red Raiders put 2 runs on the scoreboard in the top of the 10th, and then EF answering back with 3 in the bottom of the 10th. Another one fouled back. That'll take us to 2-2. Uniontown coming in 3-3 overall, 2-3 in conference play. Elizabeth Forward 4-1 overall, 2-1 in the conference. Actually played a couple of District 9 opponents, Tony, last week, and played up in Showers Field in DuBois, where they're actually holding the USCAA Small College Baseball Championships again this year. And Elizabeth Forward getting 2 games in at that complex last week when they had a scheduled bye in the conference.
And actually a pretty nice weekend to get a couple non-section games in. They really didn't play much early on here, and as you said, just trying to tune up a little bit and get ready for the section play.
And a 2-2 hit on a line into center field. A nice grab there from Andrew Mayer for the second out of the inning. Mayer doing a nice job out there in center. And plenty of familiar names in this Uniontown lineup, whether it's from the Red Raiders basketball team or from down in the Hark League over the years. Mason Kuhn, of course, his dad, JC, a pretty good boxer back in the day, playing second base. Tate Musco, the coach's son, playing first base, and a lot of young talent, both Kuhn and Musco, freshmen in the starting lineup. Swing and a miss there from Isaiah Hart. Hart, a 5'10", 155 junior. Off to a nice start this season for the Warriors. .471 average and 2 RBIs. He's opposing Chukchek on the mound this afternoon.
Yeah, and both teams put the ball in play yesterday, Brian. Uniontown actually had 10 hits in those 10 innings of play, while Elizabeth Forward had 8. And a couple nice pitching efforts by both teams yesterday, really. Thomas pitched a great game, but just nothing to show for it for Uniontown.
Count now even at 1-1, 2 outs. As we work here in the top half of the first inning. 1-1 pitch in there for a strike. Moves to 1-2.
And we'll also give our props to Logan Cherepko, who threw 6 innings, and then Faychek came in and pitched the final 4 to pick up the win. So as we said, only 3 pitchers for Uniontown and 2 for Elizabeth Forward yesterday.
1-2 fouled off. Count remains 1-2. And looking ahead on the schedule, the Red Raiders next week will actually have their conference bye week. They'll play couple of games against Albert Gallatin, one against Baldwin. They'll resume conference play against West Mifflin on the 26th and 27th. Warriors next week will play West Mifflin in a conference series, and there's strike 3. So down goes Hart, and 2 strikeouts for Chukchek here on the top of the first. Led to the bottom of the first, scoreless here in the C.R. Barado Group High School Sports Day broadcast today, presented by Penn Residential, Inc.
Spring forward to home construction season. First Federal of Greene County's variety of construction and improvement loans puts you in charge of your dream home project. First Federal gives you all of the tools you need with construction loans, owner-builder loans, FHA Title I improvement loans, and home equity loans. With offices in Fayette, Greene, and Washington counties, your loan stays here. Visit a First Federal loan officer today or apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729.
Attorneys from all over the state and nation advertise in southwestern Pennsylvania for personal injury and workers' comp cases. But most of them send their assistants to do the legwork. You might not even meet your attorney until your first hearing.
We're local attorneys, Davis & Davis. We meet directly with our clients, including free consultation, and there are no fees until you receive money on your case. If you've been injured, call Davis & Davis, representing you and your neighbors yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Phone 724-437-2799.
Brian Mrozek and Tony Anola back here at Bailey Park, moving to the bottom half of the first inning. Scoreless between Uniontown and Elizabeth Forward. Tony has your Red Raider batting lineup.
All right, for the Uniontown Red Raiders, they'll be leading off will be Christian Thomas, the shortstop, sophomore. Batting in the second spot will be the pitcher, Hunter Chukchek. Batting third will be Tate Musco, the first baseman. Batting cleanup, catcher Colt Sparks. Batting fifth will be left fielder Tanner Uphold. Batting sixth, right fielder Eric Odom. Batting seventh will be center fielder Andrew Mayer. Batting eighth will be the DH Aiden Martin. And batting ninth will be the third baseman Austin Grego.
Defensively for Elizabeth Forward, it's A.J. Palmer out in the left, Nico Mervos in center, and Logan Cherepko in right. Around the horn, Michael Burke playing third, Caden Fajchak playing short, Nate Radica playing second base, A.J. Wardropper playing first, Isaiah Hart pitching, and Luke Alvarez catching for the Elizabeth Forward Warriors. Also have the Warriors here on WMBS and our Facebook Live feed coming up in a couple of weeks. Both of the games in their series against Laurel Highlands, so something to look forward to later in the year as well. Of course, we'll have both the Uniontown Laurel games as well for you in the month of May. And here's Christian Thomas, one of the stars on the mound for the Red Raiders yesterday, leading things off. Sophomore shortstop, batting .294 with 3 RBIs. Takes the first pitch for a strike from Isaiah Hart.
Yeah, and actually, Brian had a good day at the plate as well. He was 3 for 5 yesterday and had the only extra base hit in the entire game.
Nice to see a pitcher's duel as we had yesterday. Anymore, you see so many of these higher scoring games. In fact, the Red Raiders had a 12-11 decision against Greensburg-Salem a couple of weeks back. That pitch missed inside, even if the count at 1-1. But nice when you can have an old-fashioned pitcher's duel like we had yesterday between these two teams down in Elizabeth at Wiley Field. Now the 1-1, Hart to Thomas. And that pitch in there for a strike. We move to 1-2.
And as you said, Brian, having a pitcher's contest in high school baseball is extremely unusual, no doubt.
Especially the aluminum bats. Certainly see more high-scoring games than low-scoring games. 1-2 on the way, hit on the ground, and unable to come up with that one is Michael Burke. He'll go into left field. Score that E5, Tone?
Yes, sir.
And Thomas aboard, and the Red Raiders a base runner with nobody out here in the bottom half of the first inning.
And Thomas, like I said, hit a shot down there, pretty tough to handle. But he's going to get on first and be on with an error. I'm sure he won't be happy with my scoring there, but that's just the way that goes.
And now Hunter Chukchek at the plate, the junior batting .353 with an RBI. Again, opposing Hart on the mound this afternoon. Throw over to first, back safely. The head first slide is Christian Thomas.
And I was going to say, he's got a pretty sizable lead right there, Brian. Probably about 5 steps. He's better be careful.
Long looking now from Hart.
And you wonder if Hart has a little different move where he can do a little slide step.
From the stretch, fastball there showing bunt throw down to first. It's close and barely back is Christian Thomas. Bang, bang play there, Tom.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, really, the first baseman, Wardroper, had a nice attempt there to tag him. He tagged Thomas in the face. I think if he'd have caught his hand sliding back in, he's going to be out. As we said, he had a nice lead there, and Alvarez showed off the gun that he has behind the dish here today.
Another long look in here from Hart. A pitch to Chukchek, another fastball popped up here on the right side. Charging is Cherepko, and he makes the grab. Nice catch out there in right from Logan Cherepko. And our first out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, I thought he was playing pretty deep, Brian. He had a lot of ground to cover right there and just made the diving catch and was fortunate. Thomas showed pretty good speed there on that air. I think he would have easily gotten a third. So nice catch there by Terepko to hold Thomas at first base. So 1 out now, and Tate Musco, the first baseman, batting.
Only a freshman, but he's batting .467. Already has a home run this season and 3 RBIs. Lefty against the righty Isaiah Hart. First pitch on the way. Misses outside for ball 1.
Now they've got some promising youngsters, no doubt. Thomas, as we said, only a sophomore. You've got Musco as a freshman. Uphold's only a sophomore. Martin, a sophomore. You've got, and Grego, the starting third baseman, a freshman. You've got a ton of underclassmen here for this Uniontown team.
And Musco and Kuhn are always 2 Little League stars down at Hark over the years. That pitch misses low to Tate Musco. And you have Musco just a couple of games into his freshman year. Already batting .467, starting first baseman. Of course, his dad, the head coach of the Uniontown Red Raiders.
He's got the advantage. He's got the key to the batting.
This one chopped. High chopper right back there to Hart. Rolls over to first, and out is Musco. Advancing down to second is Christian Thomas. And now 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, but Thomas now in scoring position. Wasn't able really, couldn't tell yesterday how many chances they had to score early on, but here's a chance to break something right now in this first inning, get a run across, maybe give them a little confidence going into the second inning.
With Colt Sparks, the catcher, coming to the plate, junior batting .222 with 3 RBIs. Big guy standing in here for the Red Raiders. Takes the first pitch for strike 1 from Isaiah Hart. And cloudy skies here today. Not expecting any precipitation this afternoon, but you never know.
Yeah.
We're hoping it holds off.
Yeah, it definitely does. We're exposed here.
That one low, and looking down to see if we might see Thomas trying to get down to third, but a good block there from the catcher, Luke Alvarez.
That was a great block by Alvarez. So far, and it's early on, he looks pretty decent behind the plate there, Brian. Nice block there, and showed off a pretty good arm, trying to pick off Thomas at first base.
We expected a nip and tuck series between these two teams, and close here early on, but now the ball gets into center field, but a quick retrieval there from Nico Mervos, who's one of the stars of the Elizabeth Ford basketball team.
Yeah, not so sure that was a good
idea. Past winner.
Yeah, not so sure that was a good idea by Hart right there. Luckily, he was backed up by the center fielder, but if he wasn't paying much attention, Thomas would have been easily at third and possibly had a chance to score.
Another glance back there from Hart. The pitch misses low. Down to Colton Sparks, and again they're going to check Thomas. He's back safely.
Yeah, you got 2 outs. Work on the batter. Don't worry about the runner at second.
Again, you look at this conference. Bell Vernon 3-0, Laurel Highlands 3-1. Those two teams meet Monday and Tuesday in a 2-game series. We'll have them both for you here on WMBS. Elizabeth Ford right behind at 2-1. That pitch again missing low. An opportunity here for the Red Raiders' Colton Sparks to maybe draw a walk here with Thomas on second and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. And that pitch in there for a strike.
A nice pitch there on the outside corner. Hart came back with a fastball. He threw Sparks an off-speed pitch that last time, and Sparks almost chased. I think he was looking for the breaking ball again, but got fastball right down the corner.
Now Hart again taking his time, pitch on the way, and that one misses low for ball 4. And the Red Raiders now 2 on, 2 outs. Here in this bottom of the first inning, game still scoreless. Red Raiders and the Elizabeth Ford Warriors. How about that Pirate game yesterday? A number of walks the Pirates issued and still managed to win.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Over a 4-hour game.
4-hour game, and you're thinking to yourself, man, how many, you're going through pitchers. They used up all their visits early on.
Correct.
I mean, it was just...
Tyler Hawk, the courtesy runner here for the catcher Colton Sparks. So Hawk, the sophomore, number 13, no run. He's on first. Christian Thomas on second, and Tanner Uphold at the plate here for the Red Raiders. 5th Red Raider to bat here in this bottom of the first inning. Sophomore left fielder, batting .375 with a pair of RBIs on this young season.
I'll tell you what, Hawk can get a great lead. He's not being held on by Wardroper.
And the first pitch in there for a strike to Tanner Uphold.
He's just got to be careful that he doesn't sneak behind him and Alvarez try to pick him off from the backside, but he can get an extremely good lead here now. because actually the middle infielders are shading towards second base.
0-1, big cut there. Swing and a miss, strike 2 from Tanner Uphold.
Yeah, if Uphold could shoot this ball between the second baseman and first baseman, there's a lot of room right there. They're worried about Thomas at second, trying to hold him on, but they're giving up a pretty good gap there.
Eric Odom in the on-deck circle for the Red Raiders. That's a breaking ball, misses low and outside, moves the count to 1-2.
Yeah, good eye there by Uphold to hold off on that breaking pitch. Just missed the corner, but nice job of holding off.
So 1-2, 2 outs, bottom of the first inning, scoreless. Another pitch missing outside. Count now moves to 2-2. And Tony and I are keeping this little scoreboard you might see if you're watching our Facebook Live feed ourselves. So if we're a little slow, it's on us. We don't have the extra help here today.
We're a little slow anyway.
Running the scoreboard, trying to do our best down here. If you want to volunteer to run the scoreboard for us, have at it. That one fouled off. Go on the hill.
Trying to do pitch count, scoreboard, keep scoring.
Jerry Dupay behind the camera helping us out from the South Union Township Sports Network this afternoon. I have to thank Jerry. Nick Barczyk back inside our WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios. 2-2 on the way, breaking ball, and a little nubber here. This could be trouble.
It's real
and
trouble.
No throw, infield single for Tanner Uphold.
Yeah, tell you what, and that's what we said. You had Facek worried more about Thomas at second base, and he was playing deep, and Uphold just put that ball in a perfect spot. Facek, no chance at all to throw Uphold out, so you're going to have an infield single, and all of a sudden, bases are loaded.
And you have Eric Odom coming to the plate. He's the 6th Red Raider to bat here in this bottom of the first inning. So the bases loaded, 2 outs. Uniontown trying to get somebody across, and Odom takes the first pitch low for ball 1.
You already have Hart throwing 22 pitches in this first inning, so the Red Raiders making him work. And as you said, Brian, questionable pitching depending on what happens today because had to play 10 innings yesterday.
Now pitching there for a strike, evens things up at 1-1. Talking to the Uniontown coaching staff, they thought they had more pitching depth than the Warriors. They thought the 10-inning game between these two teams yesterday would actually work to Uniontown's advantage. We'll see what plays out here this afternoon. Now the 1-1 Hart to Odom. And check swing, they're going to say pitch in there for a strike. So now 1-2. Odom batting .333, playing right field here this afternoon. 3 RBIs so far this season for the Red Raider Jr.
And I'll tell you what, Alvarez doing a pretty nice job of framing those pitches behind the plate here today.
Now the 1-2 on the way, and this ball grounded and through on the left side. This will play 2 for the Red Raiders. Thomas scores. Throw coming in. Not going to be in time. Their throw down to third and out at third. Coming around there, that was Hawk. But nonetheless, the Red Raiders get 2. So 2 RBIs from Eric Odom. And after an inning of play, it's Uniontown 2, Elizabeth Forward nothing. Our broadcast presented by Penn Residential Inc. This is the CR Brada Group High School Sports Day.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Freaky fast, freaky good. Order online at jimmyjohns.com or call 724-437-6800 for delivery or curbside pickup. Jimmy John's, next to Walnut Hill. Shop and save.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to SproulsInsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Brian Mrozek and Tony Hinola back here at Bailey Park in Uniontown, and the Red Raiders off to a 2-0 lead over the Elizabeth Forward Warriors. Logan Cherepko leading things off here for the Warriors. First pitch, a breaking ball missing there from Hunter Chukchak. And again, to end that inning, Tony, just to recap, you had the 2 RBI single to left from Eric Odom, plated Christian Thomas and Tate Musco. The courtesy runner, Tyler Hawk, running for Colton Sparks, out at third, and it went 7-2-5 on the out to end the inning. That pitch in there for a strike from Chukchak to Cherepko, and leaving up the count at 1-1.
Right, and the Red Raiders also stranded one runner at second base in Odom, who had 2 RBIs on that single.
And no complaints, leading 2-0 after 1. That pitch missing, especially after going 9 innings yesterday without a run scored.
Yeah, definitely. They forced Hart to throw 26 pitches in that first inning.
The game trending early on in Uniontown's direction. 2-1, hit on the ground here to short. And making the play there, Christian Thomas to Tate Musco, retiring Cherepko 6-3 for the first out of this top half of the second inning. So far the Warriors have been retired in order. Fachak and Hart struck out back in the top of the first inning, and Radica flew out to Andrew Mayer out in center field, and now Cherepko retired here 6-3, and Luke Alvarez coming to the plate. The catcher batting .312 with 6 RBIs. He's a 5'10", 165 junior.
Yeah, and Chukchak pretty efficient. They're only through 15 pitches in that first inning, Brian.
And look to continue that efficiency here in the second, and finds the strike zone on the first delivery to Alvarez. Alvarez, as we mentioned, coming in with 6 RBIs already on the season for Elizabeth Ford. And this would be huge for the Red Raiders, picking up a win here at home if they're able to hold on as far as the conference race goes. We mentioned how tight things are, and if they can earn a split after the extra inning road loss yesterday and really stay in the race with the top 4 teams out of the 7-team conference in Section 3 and 4A making the postseason.
Well, and that's the thing. You've got to split the series that you have to, and then try to sweep the ones that you know you need to stay in the playoff race.
And that strike 3 is going down there. Luke Alvarez, already the 3rd strikeout of the game for Hunter Chukchak. And Chukchak showing he's a pretty good number 2 for Coach Musco's squad.
No doubt about it. It's going to bring up Nico Marvos.
Marvos, 6'1", 200-pound senior, batting .230 with 6 RBIs, playing center field today, and fouls off the first pitch here from Chukchak. I think Uniontown's a sleeper team in the conference this year. You look at the amount of young talent they have. I think they're going to sneak up on a lot of guys. Kenny told us during the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show he'd be happy around 500 this year and sneaking into the playoffs. They might do a little better than that.
I have a feeling they will too, Brian. I tell you what, and you know it, as the years go on, as the year goes on, these guys are going to gain some experience and they're going to be ready to play.
Breaking ball there, missing low and outside.
And I think you're right. And you saw where they can hit. I mean, obviously, as we said, they scored prior to that game yesterday. They scored double-digit runs 3 straight games, so that they can definitely put the ball into play. And that's kind of where you win in high school baseball.
Fastball there, swing and a miss. Also didn't help either that you had Bell Vernon right out of the gates. 2 games against the projected top team in the conference, and the Red Raiders put up a pretty good fight during those 2 games. Very competitive against the Warriors. Just couldn't get the W. That one nubbed foul. Lost 4-2. Second game kind of got out of hand a little bit at 11-1.
Right.
But the Red Raiders were competitive throughout much of that contest. And then, of course, came right back and swept Greensburg-Salem. I mentioned the 11-10 win, also won 12-8, and had a lot of games that they were winning by scoring a lot of runs. Also defeated Brownsville in a non-conference game, 16-6. And then, of course, just losing that 3-2 10-inning game yesterday on the road at Elizabeth Forward.
Well, yeah, and you look at that game yesterday, Brian, if they could pull that win out, all of a sudden they're 2 games over 500.
Yeah, and they're sitting there with Laurel Highlands right behind Bell Vernon in the conference.
Right. Instead of being 3-3, all of a sudden you're 4-2, and that's a big difference.
Chukchak's next pitch to Mervos goes off the fence. Good thing that fence was there, Tony. You'd have to get the glove out.
Hey, I was going to reach there a minute, but then I thought better of it. But, when you look at the thing of it is with the high school season, I mean, it's so short. You're only looking at 20 games, and 12 of them, 14 of them being section games.
Correct. Yeah, only 12 section games as far as the Section 3 4A opponents. Really only 12 of your 20 games really mean something as far as the postseason is concerned. You really have to make the most out of those games. And you look at Uniontown, they didn't even play a non-conference game before they were thrown in a conference play against Bell Vernon.
Right, and that's tough. You start out the year like that without playing any non-section games. Then all of a sudden, here it is, and you're in section play, and you're down already 0-2.
And that's strike 3 as Mervos goes down. 4 strikeouts already for Chuck Check. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Uniontown leading Elizabeth forward 2-0 here in the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day broadcast presented by Penn Residential Incorporated.
Penn Residential is a fast-growing human services agency currently seeking full-time and part-time direct support professionals to provide direct care and support for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities inside residential homes within local communities. If you are seeking a rewarding experience by making a difference in the lives of others, Penn Residential Incorporated wants to hear from you. Their direct support professionals partner with adults and children with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their circles of support to help them achieve independence, growth, and happiness through high-quality creative services. Candidates must possess good communication skills, have a valid state driver's license, clean driving record over the past 3 years, and have reliable transportation. At Penn Residential, direct support professionals will receive full benefits after 90 days and a 401k retirement plan with 6% employer match. Benefits also include medical and prescription drug insurance, vision and dental insurance, accrued time off, life insurance, and holiday pay. Penn Residential is a licensed and qualified provider under Pennsylvania's DPW's Office of Developmental Programs. Their homes serve residents in Fayette, Washington, and Westmoreland counties in southwestern Pennsylvania. For more information about current career opportunities, visit PennResidentialInc.com/careers, or to schedule an interview, email info@PennResidentialInc.com or call 724-635-0048. Penn Residential Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
2-0, the Uniontown Red Raiders leading the Elizabeth Forward Warriors. We move to the bottom of the second inning. Andrew Mayer, Aiden Martin, and Austin Grego due up here for the Red Raiders after Uniontown plated 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Picking up 2 RBIs was Eric Odom, driving in Christian Thomas and Tate Musco.
Yeah, leading off will be center fielder Andrew Mayer. He's going to be followed by DH Aiden Martin and then Austin Grego, the third batter in this inning for the Red Raiders.
Mayer batting .200, has driven in 3 runs already this season and takes the first pitch for a strike there from Isaiah Hart.
Pretty nice breaking pitch right there by Hart to start off on Mayer.
Red Raiders made Hart work in that bottom of the first inning. Where do you have the pitch count at 26?
Had him at 26, unofficially.
0-1 in there for another strike. 0-2 now to Andrew Mayer.
Oh, he went deep in a lot of counts, Brian, against a lot of batters. Going 2-2, full count. So accumulated 26, and as we said, 100 in the high school ranks.
That one fouled off by Mayer. Count remains 0-2.
100 before you have to come out of a game. I was looking at the numbers from yesterday. Christian Thomas had 99 pitches yesterday in his 7 innings of work. It's tough to play a game like that and not get a win out of it, throwing a game like that.
Hart's 0-2 to Mayer, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Mayer goes down, first strikeout of the game for Isaiah Hart. We mentioned the importance of today's game as far as the conference standings are concerned. Again, the top 4 make the postseason. Uniontown's already played 5 conference games. Only the Red Raiders and Greensburg-Salem have played that many so far this season. Uniontown currently on the outside looking in at 2-3. You have Bell Vernon at 3-0, Laurel Highlands at 3-1, Elizabeth Forward and West Mifflin both at 2-1 as that pitch fouled off there by Aiden Martin. And then Uniontown at 2-3, Greensburg-Salem at 1-4, Ringgold at 0-3. Last week, Bell Vernon had their series with West Mifflin postponed due to some COVID issues that the Titans had. Uniontown, of course, last year was 4-14. They've already are 1 away from equaling their win total from a season ago. As that pitch in there for a strike to Aiden Martin. But we mentioned that postponed series, the Leps and Titans expected to make that up next Friday and Saturday. They're trying to space out the pitching. Again, Bell Vernon will play Laurel Highlands Monday and Tuesday and maybe get a couple of pitchers back for that series. And now Aiden Martin goes down, looking at strike 3, and it's back-to-back strikeouts for Isaiah Hart and 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, that could be an interesting week for Bell Vernon next week, Brian. As you said, with the Mustangs on Monday and Tuesday, and if they have to make up the games against West Mifflin split against the Mustangs to start the season off. And they haven't been playing bad baseball either, so it's going to be an interesting series there for Bell Vernon. coming off the one with Laurel Highlands.
First pitch misses low for ball one to Austin Grego. This is the only scheduled conference game, at least that I saw in the conference today. West Mifflin down Greensburg-Salem 4-1 yesterday. Bell Vernon defeated Ringgold 6-1. Two quick outs recorded here by Isaiah Hart, striking out Mayer and Martin, and now working on Austin Grego with the count at 1-1.
Yeah, and only 8 pitches in this inning so far for Hart.
1-1 here on the way, and there for strike 2. Grego, another freshman, came in with a 182 average and 4 RBIs.
Now with getting that valuable varsity experience, and as you said, just a young team for Uniontown, so look out down the road for them.
1-2 pitch, and that one nubbed foul.
That was one of those excuse me, thank you for fouling it off, because that would have been a strike. It was a nice breaking pitch by Hart.
Nice to see the improvements they've made down here to Bailey Park. You can see some fresh paint up. And again, they've been working on some of the light posts. Hopefully they can get some night games back here soon as well. And Grego, a little check swing. Did he go? No. Pitch misses low, and we're even at 2-2.
Yeah, we played a lot of games down here, no doubt about it. Short porch in left field, but you got to hit it high to get it over that fence.
You used this field a lot back in the day then, Tone?
Oh, there was games down here all the time.
There's a strike 3 pitch from Isaiah Hart, so he strikes out the side, sending down Mayer, Martin, and Grego here in the bottom of the second inning. So we've played 2. It's Uniontown 2, Elizabeth Ford nothing. Our broadcast presented by Penn Residential Inc. This is the CR Product Group High School Sports Day.
WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, in cooperation with the Fayette County Vaccine Task Force, has established a phone number for direct vaccine scheduling. Fayette County residents that would like or need a vaccine can now call 724-430-3900 between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Residents will be scheduled at clinics offered by providers across the county, including clinics operated by WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital. When the call center is closed, residents are encouraged to visit FayetteCountyPA.org to complete individual registration. Registrations will be sent to a call bank, and calls will be returned within 72 hours. Again, to schedule your COVID-19 vaccine, call 724-430-3900. That's 724-430-3900 between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, or visit FayetteCountyPA.org to complete registration. The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital COVID-19 vaccine clinic is located inside the Uniontown Mall, inside the former Burlington Coat Factory. WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, the new us, here for you. Accidents can happen at any time. At Stewart Collision Service in Uniontown, we are here to repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition. Have dents? Stewart Collision Service does paintless dent repair. Need a touch-up or full body paint job? Our water-based paint system gives the best match for your color. So give us a call at 724-437-9381 or stop by 73 East Fayette Street for all your collision needs. We work with all insurances. Stewart Collision supports our local high school sports team and wish you the best this season. That's Stewart Collision Service, 73 East Fayette Street in Uniontown, 724-437-9381.
Back here at Bailey Park, A.J. Palmer leading things off here on the top of the third. The first pitch from Hunter Chuck in there for strike 1. So they counted 0-1. Palmer, a 5'7", 135 junior, playing left field here today for the Warriors. And the 0-1 pitch hit hard on the ground there to the third baseman, Austin Grego. Throw over to first a little wide, hanging on. Tate Musco at first, and out is A.J. Palmer. He's retired 5-3, and the Warriors have been retired in order so far, Tony. 7 up, 7 down.
Don't jinx them. Don't say it. Don't jinx them.
Just passing along the information.
Right. One thing there I will say, though, that play by Musco, he's going to probably have to learn a little bit, maybe to shift his feet. He tried to hold on the bag there, and it's a wonder he wasn't run over. But he made a nice play and a nice defensive play at third base as well.
And just a freshman playing first base, A.J. Wardropper now at the plate. Takes ball 1 inside, tall and lengthy. Is Wardropper, 6'1", 155 junior. 357 average, 2 RBIs. Another pitch missing. And 2-0 now from Chuck Check to Wardropper.
Pitch didn't miss by much, though.
What do you have Chuck Check's pitch count out right now?
Chuck Check, I have him at 29. Sorry about that. 15 in the first, 14 in the second.
And very efficient so far. That one missing.
He's now in the hole 3-0.
It's A.J. Wardropper. Yeah, the Red Raiders got 7 innings out of Christian Thomas yesterday before he approached 100 pitches, and all were scoreless. 3 pitches in there for a strike, now 3-1. And 1 out as we work here in the top of the third. Uniontown a 2-0 lead over Elizabeth Forward.
Check. Getting the sign there.
Breaking ball in there for strike 2, so working his way back here against A.J. Wardropper. Wardropper started to walk down to first.
Tell you what, though, that's a lot of confidence right there to throw that breaking pitch with a 3-1 count. He was able to get away with it and get it right down the center of the plate. See what he comes back with here.
3-2 on the way. It's a fastball in there for strike 3. So give Chuck Jack a lot of credit. It was a 3-0 count. Worked his way back into it to pick up strikeout number 5 this afternoon, sending down A.J. Wardropper. That's now 8 straight Warriors retired so far this afternoon, and that'll bring up Michael Burke. Burke, a 5'7", 155 senior, playing third base today. Batting .286 so far this season, and batting here from the left side. Lefty versus righty. First pitch, a breaking ball actually bounced in front of the plate, so 1-0. Now to Michael Burke.
Yeah, Chuck Check is taking his time. He's got the bottom of the order, and Faycheck coming to bat after this, but
top of the order.
I'm top of the order.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, Burke at the bottom. I'm sorry.
Yeah, correct.
Yep, sorry about that.
And that one going around there was Burke. It hit off the helmet of either the umpire or the catcher.
I think it caught the catcher. I think it caught Sparks there, but looks like he just fouled it off. Looks like Sparks is fine. And a pretty good pitch right there as well by Chuck Check.
Frank Champ, the head coach of the Warriors. Ken Musco, the head coach of the Uniontown Red Raiders. Next pitch here to Michael Burke, and Burke sends this one high in the air. And backing up will be the shortstop. A little out of position, but Christian Thomas makes the grab for the third out of the inning. So it's 9 up, 9 down so far. Warriors retired in order. We're headed to the bottom of the third, still 2-0. Uniontown over Elizabeth Forward here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day broadcast presented by Penn Residential Inc.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowell's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowellsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Penn Residential Inc., a human services agency providing 24-hour, around-the-clock services and supports for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Their residential homes are located in local communities offering residents quality care while encouraging autonomy. They're a fast-growing company offering rewarding employment opportunities to those interested in making positive impacts in the lives of others. For information about career opportunities, visit PennResidentialInc.com/careers, email info@PennResidentialInc.com, or call 724-635-0048.
Looking for the highest quality products at the lowest prices? Shop and save on Walnut Hill in Uniontown has the widest selection of brands and the freshest offerings around. They specialize in your family's grocery needs. Save big and sign up for the Shop and Save Perks card to get money-saving benefits and discounts on gas. Shop and save. Walnut Hill Road, Uniontown, open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Working hard to offer you the best at Shop and Save because it's the just right thing to do.
Back here at Bailey Park in Uniontown, moving to the bottom of the third inning. Top of the order due up here for the Red Raiders, Christian Thomas, Hunter Chuckcheck, and Tate Musco. Red Raiders actually retired in order back in the bottom of the second inning as Isaiah Hart struck out the side, setting down Mayor, Martin, and Grego. But the Red Raiders got production out of the top of the order in the bottom of the first inning. Look to continue that here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, Thomas reached on an error. He's going to pop up the first pitch to right field.
And that's Logan Cherepko getting under it, making the grab for the first out of this bottom of the third inning. Actually had a long-time local baseball fan, Tony, come over to here and said he found a baby picture from 1963. Said you were 2 years old. The first thing I asked him, was he a big baby? He said no.
No, I was not a big baby. And I think I think the only reason they kept it was because it was when Kennedy got shot. They didn't keep it for my picture, I can tell you that.
That ball off the second base bag and in safely is Hunter Chukchek. I think you have to score that an infield single.
It sure did. Base hit for Chukchek. That's the third hit of the day for the Red Raiders. The first base runner here in this third inning. Be interesting to see. Wonder if they're going to put in a pinch runner, or courtesy runner, I should say, for Chukchek. But it doesn't look like it. They're going to let him on his own. And here comes Musco now. He grounded out to the pitcher his first time up.
Maybe his good speed, though. You let him run. Only have one out here in the inning. A lot of times for those pitchers, they can stay loose a little better, maybe even on the base paths.
Right.
You're not getting cold out there in the dugout. The temperatures here in the mid-50s.
It's chilly. I'm surprised how many players do not have shirts on underneath.
I'm glad I put on the extra layer this afternoon.
Yeah, I know. I brought it. I'm thinking, okay, I know how windy it is down here at times.
Pitch outside.
Yeah, so Musco trying to pick up another run here, 2-0. The Red Raiders looking to advance their lead. Chukchek with a pretty decent lead here at first base.
We said Musco scored that run in the first inning. That can't be right.
No, that was my fault.
And a little grounder to shorts. Long throw over to first, and the throw barely there in time from Facek to Wardropper to retire Musco 6-3, but it was close. So it was actually, Tony, then Hawk that scored the run back in the first, and it was Uphold that was out at third.
Right.
So again, we'll correct that. Uphold was out on that 7-2-5 play. I mean, we had a lot going on there.
We just marked the wrong circle.
Yes, yes.
So now 2 outs and another runner in scoring position.
And Colt Sparks coming to the plate. It was his courtesy runner that scored the second run for the Red Raiders back in the first inning. He takes strike one here. Tyler Hawk scoring that run in Sparks' spot after Sparks walked to get on base.
And we'll give Facek credit too. It's short to come back and stay with that ball.
Throw back to second and head first slide back safely there from Hunter Chukchek. So the Red Raiders another runner in scoring position, up 2-0 as we work here in the bottom of the third inning. Brian Morozak alongside Tony Hinola, Jerry Dupay behind the camera on our Facebook Live feed, and Nick Barczyk back inside our WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios. And that one hit on the ground. It'll be the second baseman, Radica, over to first to Wardropper, able to hold on to retire Sparks 4-3 for the third out of the inning. So the Red Raiders end up stranding Chukchek. It'll move to the top of the fourth, moving right along. Uniontown on top of Elizabeth forward 2-0. Broadcast presented by Penn Residential Incorporated. This is the C.R. Barada Group High School Sports Day.
Visit Sea Harbor Chevy East and drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox with all-wheel drive for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is for GMF or well-qualified individuals, 24 months, 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash for equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is for tax, title fees, and first payments. Residency restrictions apply. While supplies last. Sale ends May 3rd, 2021. Call dealer for all other details at 724-82231 or visit SeaHarborChevyEast.com.
With the rest of the world, Peachin Pharmacy is following the developments of the COVID-19 pandemic. Your safety is a priority at Peachin Pharmacy. For prescriptions, you have many options. Peachin's offers free delivery, free mail, and curbside pickup. If you come into the store, Peachin's follows all of the CDC and state safety recommendations. As always, if you have concerns about your medications, call 724-626-9600 or visit Peachin Pharmacy inside the Peachin Market in Connellsville or online at peachinpharmacy.com.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? M&R Transit is now hiring van drivers. Van drivers must be 26 years of age, have a valid driver license, and a clean driving record. Van drivers must be able to obtain all clearances. For more information, call 724-439-3164. That's 724-439-3164 or apply in person at M&R Transit, 253 South Mount Vernon Avenue. M&R Transit wishes the Laurel Highlands Mustangs good luck.
Moving to the top of the fourth inning, Caden Facek, Nate Radica, and Isaiah Hart due up here for the Elizabeth Forward Warriors, who've been retired in order by Hunter Chukchek so far. Chukchek already 5 strikeouts for the Red Raiders, and now Facek, who was one of those strikeout victims in the top of the first inning, the freshman coming to the plate.
Yeah, and only 40 pitches thrown so far by Chukchek in those first 3 innings.
First pitch misses there for ball 1.
Facek, the shortstop, another freshman playing.
1-0 on the way, and this ball hit into the air in a one-hop in front of Tanner Uphold. First hit of the game for the Warriors comes here to lead off the top of the fourth inning.
And a nice job there by Facek to hang back on that breaking pitch. Hit it out to left field. So the Warriors now with their first base runner. That's going to bring up Nate Radica, the second baseman. He flew out, lined out to the center fielder, Mayer, in that first inning.
And you wonder if this will change the way that Chuck Check operates. Obviously having to move to the stretch position, was so comfortable retiring 9 straight. See, that throws off his rhythm, and it might right there as that one gets away from Colton Sparks. Wild pitch there from Chuck Check, and moving down to second is Facek.
Yeah, and you're right, Brian. I mean, he hadn't thrown out of the stretch at all. Throws one a little outside there that Sparks couldn't handle, and now Facek in scoring position with nobody out.
Especially when you were in the groove like he was, retiring 9 straight.
9 straight and working at a pretty good pace.
Correct. And now things a little different. Runner in scoring position. Facek now at second. 1-0 pitch here to Radica. Breaking ball, missing low. Just like that, 2-0.
Yeah, and a little bit different motion, too, from Chuck Check. Out of the stretch. Thomas trying to keep Facek close at second, but don't give up too much of that hole.
And Chuck Check has slowed down his tempo a little bit right now as well with Facek on second. 2-0 pitch on the way, and that one missing low and outside. And just like that, 3-0. If you get Radica aboard here, if you're Kenny Muska, you might want to just come out and just make sure that Chuck Check settled down a little bit after the positive start, retiring 9 straight. You don't want to give the Warriors too much of an opportunity to hop right back in it. Now showing bunt here, Radica will pull back out and time called.
Yeah, and the corners were charging. Middle infielders staying back. Both of the corners charging, so it'd be a pretty tough play, though, for Thomas if they try to go to third base because he's got a lot of ground to cover there to get to third base.
Radica showing bunt again, pulls back, pitching there for a strike now, 3-1.
Yeah, and probably thought better of it. You got Grego down at third. He charged originally on that first bunt attempt. Now just Musco charging from first base, which is better defensively, as we said, because Thomas would have to cover a lot of ground from short to get to third to even have a play on Facek.
3-1 pitch, and Radica draws ball 4. First walk issued by Chuck Check. Now put runners on first and second and nobody out.
Yeah, so now all of a sudden, the Warriors with nobody on base the first 3 innings. Now 2 guys on with nobody out. That's going to bring up the third batter, Isaiah Hart, the pitcher. He struck out his first time up.
But he comes in with a .471 average and 2 RBIs, 5'10", 155 junior.
Yep.
He's been hitting at a pretty good clip so far this year.
That's good enough reason to have him in the third spot, too.
For sure. So Chuck Check's first pitch here on the way in there for a strike to Isaiah Hart. 0-1.
And trying to get a little confidence back right now. Just, you're right. Maybe even if you have Musco or even the third baseman Grego go in and chat with him a minute just to make sure he's okay and say, guess what? We can turn a double play and get right out of here.
Yeah, Uniontown up 2-0, but one swing of the bat could change things in a hurry. And a big cut there, swing and a miss, and 2 strikes on Isaiah Hart. Red Raiders picking up their 2 runs back in the bottom of the first inning. Eric Odom picking up those RBIs. Driving in Tyler Hawk, the courtesy runner for Colton Sparks and Christian Thomas. That pitch moving away there from Colton Sparks. Runners will advance on the play. Facek down to third. Radica into second.
I think he tripped over that line over there, Brian. Came around and thought about kind of faking to go home on the wild pitch, but fell rounding third base, and he got up laughing as well as his coach.
We saw that the other day at Laurel Highlands as well. One of the Mustangs, I think, was looking for an easy triple and kind of fell over his own 2 feet, moving from second down to third. So it's happened before.
Yes, it has. I think that was McKnight, actually.
We saw that in the NFL this year, too. Was it the Giants quarterback had a long run going by himself and tripped and fell, and there was memes going everywhere about it. This one hit high in the air to right field. Odom getting under it will make the grab, tagging from third, and we're going to have a play here at the plate, and sliding in safely is Caden Facek, and that was close.
I'm not so sure. I mean, he cut it. I'm not so sure I wouldn't have let it go through, but Musco cut it, and the throw was just a little bit on the home plate side. So Facek scores a run. And now all of a sudden, Elizabeth Ford right back into this game with another runner in scoring position. So give Hart an RBI on the sacrifice fly.
His third RBI of the season. Facek a run scored. And the Warriors back to within 1 now of Uniontown at 2-1. And they have Radica down at third. First pitch misses here for ball 1 to Logan Cherepko.
And the Red Raiders going to give up a run on the infield's play. If there's a play here on the infield, all the infielders playing deep, regular depth. And Cherepko grounded out to shortstop Thomas his first time up.
1-0 pitch. Misses low and outside. 2-0 now to Cherepko.
So anything in the infield here, you're going to have Radica score easily. I can't imagine you're going to even have a play at the plate.
And Cherepko came in with a .533 average as well and 7 RBIs. 6'1", 175 junior. Breaking ball there, swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch from Chukchek, and certainly had Cherepko. I think he was sitting on a fastball off balance.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. I think he was sitting dead red there, but nice off-speed pitch there by by Chukchek.
Now the 2-1 here from Cherepko as Chukchek has a straight look at Radica over at third. That pitch off the plate as well, 3-1. For his first base open, game-tying run down at third. And the go-ahead run for the Warriors now at the plate.
Now the problem is here, if you walk Cherepko, he's going to be at second base without a problem.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss, and Chukchek's had success with those breaking pitches, and now we're full of 3-2.
Yeah, anytime you walk anybody in high school, they're not going to make the throw down, obviously, with a runner at third and only 1 out. So he's going to easily get to second base and be in scoring position if he does get a free pass here.
Payoff pitch, Chukchek to Cherepko. It's on the way, fastball, misses for ball 4, didn't miss by much.
No, he did not miss by much. That's a tough pitch to take there, but Cherepko, good eye. As we said, I would not be surprised to see him run on the first pitch here.
Second walk of the inning issued by Chukchek.
Yeah, Chukchek came in, only threw 40 pitches in those first 3 innings, and 15 was the highest. Right now he's at 17 in here in this 4th inning.
Luke Alvarez coming to the plate. He was one of Chukchek's strikeout victims back in the 2nd inning. Chukchek 5 strikeouts so far. And now you're going to have that little meeting I was talking about earlier, Tom.
Well, I think you're going to have a meeting, 1, to settle him down, and 2, to figure out what you're going to do if this runner runs, which I don't think you have a chance to throw him out anyway. He's going to be in scoring position, but, you know, maybe they have some type of play where the shortstop cuts it off or whatever, but it never seems to work anyway. So, really, he's just going to be on second base before you know it.
And he had just 1 out here in the inning. Might have said 2 outs earlier. 1 out here in the inning. You had Caden Facek single to left field to lead off the inning. Nate Radica walked, and then the sac fly RBI from Isaiah Hart scoring Facek, and now Cherepko walking. So the Warriors still threatening, 2 on, 1 out. As we work here in the top of the 4th inning, Uniontown on top 2-1. Again, our broadcast presented by Penn Residential, Inc., a human service agency providing 24 hours around the clock services and support for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
I was interested there, the way Chukchek set up at first. I thought he was just going to pitch from the windup. I was going to say, don't be surprised at all to just see Hart take off right then and there. But he is coming from the stretch.
Big spot here facing Luke Alvarez as Elizabeth Ford works their way back into this game. That pitch missing high for ball 1.
Can't believe he didn't run on the first pitch.
Cherepko at first, Radica at third. Count 1-0. To Luke Alvarez. Came in with a .312 average and 6 RBIs, and now Alvarez calls time. Mentioned our first time broadcasting from this location at Bailey Park. Normally we're behind home plate. We're set up down the first baseline. Again, I have to thank the mayor of Uniontown, Bill Gerke, and his staff. They got some power installed down here to help us bring you a camera down the first base line as well for our Facebook Live feed this afternoon. Mayor Gerke always doing a nice job to move things along. That pitch just missing.
This is my first broadcasting gig at Bailey Park.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I've never done a game here.
Night games are usually fun down here. You get a lot of the community out. Well, cooler temperatures maybe have kept a little bit of the crowd away here today.
Still not a bad crowd.
No.
Yeah.
Let's pitch in here to Luke Alvarez.
A little cooler than it was last week. There's no
For
doubt
sure.
about that. Jerry and I did the Laurel Highlands game. It had to be 100 degrees in that press box on Friday. Right now, we'd go for that, I think.
Mustangs have been off all week, haven't played since that game. They'll play a non-conference game tomorrow against Connellsville. Our next broadcast on WMBS comes your way Monday. And they'll start that 2-game series against Bell Vernon. And that's ball 4 to Luke Alvarez. Now you've had 3 walks issued this half inning for Hunter Chukchek. And the base is now loaded with 1 out. You've already had your visit to the mound. And Nico Mervos, the 6th Warrior to bat here in this top of the 4th.
And Mervos struck out his last time up. Interesting again. In on the corners for the Uniontown defense, and middle infielders back looking for the double play ball.
First pitch to Mervos, breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 1. The whole tide of this game turned after the Red Raiders retired 9 straight, and Facek led off the inning with a base hit. It's changed the way that Chukchek has had to operate out there for Uniontown, and the Warriors have had success with Chukchek operating from the stretch. Bases loaded, 1 already across here in the top of the 4th. Warriors back to within 1. And that pitch misses the load, even up the count at 1-1 to Nico Mervos.
See, I think at this point in time, I mean, I realize that your runners are going to get a little bit bigger lead, but I'm not so sure I wouldn't have Chukchek pitch from the windup right now. I mean, he was much more comfortable there, it seemed. I would let him come in from the windup. You got 1 out, and let him try to throw some more smoke.
1-1 pitch again misses, 2-1.
He's not missing by much there, Brian, but it just seems. I mean, I would get him to wind right here.
I agree. He's staying with the stretch. Count out 2-1. Mervos came in with a .230 average and 6 RBIs. Table set for him right here. 2-1 pitch, and this one hit on a line in the left center field. On the run and making the grab, Andrew Mayer. What a grab. A run will score. Sac fly RBI as Radica scores from third. But that could have been an extra base hit if Mayer didn't move off to his right and make the grab.
I'll tell you what, if Uniontown goes ahead and wins, that's your play of the game right there. He just saved 3 runs, no doubt. That ball would have went to the fence. That was a beautiful catch and a nice jump on it. Just unbelievable. Great catch.
So the Warriors now evening things up at 2. At the plate, A.J. Palmer, the 7th Warrior to bat here in this top of the 4th inning.
And we're gonna highlight that play, Brian. I'll tell you what, nice jump by Mayer. I actually thought that ball was going to get in the gap. And he did a fantastic job. And this might be a little bleeder.
And this one's going to drop in front of Tanner Uphold in left. And Elizabeth Ford now into the lead. Throw down to third and out at third to end the inning is Alvarez. But scoring on the play was Cherepko. And a lead at 3-2. And we have Alvarez down here at the end of the inning. So the out at third ends the inning, but the Warriors get 3, and now they lead at 3-2 as we move to the bottom of the 4th here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day broadcast presented by Penn Residential Inc. here on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
Good times and good food. It's all at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown, family owned and operated. Potter's has been a staple in the Uniontown community since 1950. So get out of the house and make your next night out at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown. Call them up at 724-438-9835. That's 724-438-9835. Or visit Potter's on Facebook. We'll see you at Potter's.
Visit C. Harper Chevy and drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox with all-wheel drive for only only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Residency restrictions apply while supplies last. Sale ends May 3rd, 2021. Call a dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000 or visit charperchevy.com.
Moving now to the bottom of the fourth inning, and just like that, Tony, Elizabeth Forward now in the lead 3-2 over Uniontown. Luca Alvarez was slow in getting up after he was gunned down at third. The out recorded 7-2-5 to end the inning.
It looked like he might have jammed his thumb there a little bit, Brian, but let's see what happens. Let's see if he comes back out. He's in there getting the gear on, so I'm sure he will.
Alvarez, the Elizabeth Forward catcher. Again, he had runs scored from Fejchak, Radica, and Logan Cherepko. Going to recap that inning. Caden Fejchak singled to left field to get things started. Radica walked. Sac fly RBI from Hart drove in Fejchak. Cherepko walked. Another walk from Alvarez loaded up the bases. Sac fly RBI from Mervos tied the game, and the RBI single to left from A.J. Palmer. And, of course, in there on that sac fly RBI was the great catch out there in center field from Andrew Mayer. Could have been a gap shot. It would have cleared the bases. But a good defensive play there from Mayer limited the damage, but the Warriors get enough now to take a 3-2 lead as we move to the bottom of the fourth inning, and Uniontown with Uphold, Odom, and Mayer coming to the plate.
And as we said, Mayer covered a lot of ground there, and that's a huge catch that he made. Just showed great range and just stretched out, and as we said, probably saved 3 runs.
Isaiah Hart misses on the first pitch to Tanner Uphold, and after Hart gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning, he settled down nicely.
Yeah, and his pitch count, as we said, 26 in the first, 12 in the second, and only 8 in the third. So he get extremely efficient there in that third inning.
Struck out the side in the second, setting down Mayer, Martin, and Grego in order. Count now 2-0 here to Tanner Uphold, who has a little nubber. And the play made covering the bag there was Hart off the ground ball that went to Wardropper. And Uphold retired for the first down to this bottom of the fourth.
I know we see a rarity here, Brian, in this scorebook. How many times did you mark an out 7-2-5?
Twice.
We've had it
yes,
twice in this game right now. You never see that, and we have it on both sides of the scorebook right now.
And you go back to that bottom of the third inning, the only Uniontown hit was that infield single from Chuck Shack, and that was kind of a bad luck play from Elizabeth Forward. Actually bounced off the second base bag, and first pitch swinging here from Odom pops it up deep in the infield, and the grab made there by A.J. Wardropper. So Wardropper a little busy here to start the bottom of the fourth inning, but Uphold and Odom retired, and 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, and only on 4 pitches. So they're not waiting deep in the count by any means.
You've had 8 of the last 9 now retired by Isaiah Hart.
And he started a pretty nice game. We didn't think he was going to make it too long after that first inning, but he's really settled down and is pitching a gem right now.
I think sometimes, especially for the away teams, as once again Hart finds the strike zone there to Mayer, that first inning can be rough. You're getting off the bus. You're trying to loosen up. A lot of times the teams have less than an hour to prepare for the game, and it kind of takes a little while, I think, especially for a pitcher to get into the groove of things. But once they get that inning in, another swing and a miss there for Mayer, and just like that, he has 2 strikes on him. They have success.
It's tough because you're not used to the mound. I mean, it's a whole lot easier, you're right, whenever you pitch at home, and especially in high school baseball because the fields are so different every place you go, and the mounds are different, and you just don't know what you're going to have.
No 2 pitches, missed a little high, now 1-2.
So like I said, when you go to an away game, it does take you a little while to get involved in the game and try to figure out where you like it on the mound.
Now Hart's 1-2 here to Andrew Mayer. That pitch in there for strike 3, so 1-2-3. Bottom half of the fourth inning, Warriors hanging on to a 3-2 lead over the Red Raiders. We're back in just a moment here on the C.R. Barada Group High School Sports Day broadcast presented by Penn Residential, Inc.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Mom Maruka's Pizza Shop, located at 64 Barton Mill Road in Uniontown, is your prime place to enjoy local high school sports. Mom Maruka's is family-owned and operated where pride of ownership certainly shows. The Sampson family carries on the tradition of homemade pizza, salads, subs, and wings. Mom Maruka's is open Monday through Saturday, 4 to 10 for indoor-outdoor dining and takeout. Call 724-438-9066 or visit MomMarukaPizza.com for their menu.
Visit Sea Harbor Chevy East and drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox with all-wheel drive for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is for GMF or well-qualified individuals, 24 months, 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash for equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is for tax, title fees, and first payment. Residency restrictions apply. While supplies last. Sale ends May 3rd, 2021. Call dealer for all other details at 724-668-2231 or visit SeaHarborChevyEast.com.
New pitcher for the Uniontown Red Raiders as we move to the top half of the fifth inning. It's Eric Odom. Odom was playing in right field. A couple of defensive changes now for the Red Raiders. Christian Thomas, who was playing shortstop, now out in right field, and Hunter Chuckcheck, who was on the mound, now playing short. Do you got all that, Tone?
I do have all that.
It'll be Wardropper, Burke, and Facek for Elizabeth Forward here in the top half of the fifth.
And the final numbers for Chuckcheck today through 4 innings. Ended up with 65 total pitches. Gave up 3 runs, all of them earned on only 2 hits. 3 bases on balls and had 5 strikeouts. Been a pretty good effort there. Just struggled in that last inning.
Now you have the junior Eric Odom on the mound. First pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Certainly a much bigger guy than Chuckcheck.
Oh, no doubt. And I'm sure he can bring some heat as well.
Wardropper struck out looking back in the 3rd inning. And Chuckcheck retired 9 straight for the Red Raiders to start this game. That ball hit on the ground to second. Mason Kuhn is there. Throw over to first in time. That's freshman to freshman Kuhn to Musco. As Wardropper retired 4-3 for the first out of this top of the 5th.
Kuhn took his time there a little bit, Brian.
He did.
Yeah, got the runner down, but got set and threw him out. Nice job, though. Stayed down on the baseball, and nice job fielding there by Kuhn to pick up the first out of the inning.
He knew he had time.
Yeah, he did.
Now Michael Burke coming to the plate. Senior batting .286. Dugout calls him Berkey. Lefty.
Berkey.
First pitch, ball 1.
Flew out to shortstop Christian Thomas. His last at bat in the 3rd inning, right behind second base. Thomas drifted back in, pretty much medium range center field there.
Correct.
To play.
Was out of position, but got the job done. This ball hard hit going over to short. Chuckcheck there. Throw over to first in time to Musco. And Burke retired 6-3. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Again, if you're just joining us, Elizabeth Forward leading Uniontown 3-2. Red Raiders getting their 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st. Warriors getting their 3 runs in the top of the 4th.
He had a good game here so far. So that's going to bring up Facek, top of the order. Facek 1 for 2 on the day. Takes a first pitch for a strike. Brian's on scoreboard duty too. So
we're trying to. We had it on the 5th, but I guess we didn't hit the update button.
Yeah.
Appreciate Jerry Dupay.
Yeah, Jerry.
Making sure we're on our toes here.
Man, he's taking care of everything over there. Camera, telling us about the scoreboard. He's doing a job. That's why you brought him, isn't it?
Yes.
Plus, he's close to home. You don't have to go far.
I told Jerry that this probably has to be the closest venue that he's ever done a game with. He literally lives right up the street from Bailey Park. Swing and a miss there from Caden Facek. As Tony said, Facek struck out swinging back in the first single to left field to score a run in that busy 4th inning where the Warriors sent 7 men to the plate. Warriors operating here with 2 outs. Bases empty, up 3-2 here in the top half of the 5th. Eric Odom on the mound for Uniontown. That fastball missing high and inside.
So we're close enough, Jared, that you can smell your wife's cooking. What are you having for dinner, buddy? Chicken. Chicken, that's it. See, he can smell it. He's not that far away.
This game goes long. She can even bring him dinner. She can walk down and bring him the dinner.
She don't love him that much.
Swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. So Odom coming in, doing a nice job. 1, 2, 3. Top half of the 5th sends down. Facek, we're moving to the bottom of the 5th, moving right along. 3-2 Warriors over the Red Raiders. Broadcast presented by Penn Residential Inc. Sea Harbor Auto Group High School Sports Day.
Penn Residential is a fast-growing human services agency currently seeking full-time and part-time direct support professionals to provide direct care and support for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities inside residential homes within local communities. If you are seeking a rewarding experience by making a difference in the lives of others, Penn Residential Incorporated wants to hear from you. Their direct support professionals partner with adults and children with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their circles of support to help them achieve independence, growth, and happiness through high-quality creative services. Candidates must possess good communication skills, have a valid state driver's license, clean driving record over the past 3 years, and have reliable transportation. At Penn Residential, direct support professionals will receive full benefits after 90 days and a 401k retirement plan with 6% employer match. Benefits also include medical and prescription drug insurance, vision and dental insurance, accrued time off, life insurance, and holiday pay. Penn Residential is a licensed and qualified provider under Pennsylvania's DPW's Office of Developmental Programs. Their homes serve residents in Fayette, Washington, and Westmoreland counties in southwestern Pennsylvania. For more information about current career opportunities, visit PennResidentialInc.com/careers, or to schedule an interview, email info@PennResidentialInc.com or call 724-635-0048. Penn Residential Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Brian Mrozek, Tony Hanola back here at Bailey Park in Uniontown, moving to the bottom of the fifth inning, a 3-2 lead for the Elizabeth Forward Warriors over the Uniontown Red Raiders. I have to thank some of our folks checking in. Jonathan Guth said he'd run the scoreboard for us. Pam Kumar says she's scouting future opponents for Mustang Country. Billy Dice saying sounding and looking good. And Billy Bendis saying change the grip on the fastball if you're missing spots. That one fouled off. Appreciate the folks checking in.
Yeah, a little easier said than done, I guess, right?
It's Aiden Martin, Austin Grego, and Christian Thomas here for the Red Raiders in the bottom of the fifth. Isaiah Hart still on the mound for Elizabeth Forward. Red Raiders now down one at 3-2, and quickly 2 strikes on Aiden Martin.
Although Bill Bendis still thrown in the county league, still playing baseball.
Is he?
Yeah,
Nice.
He's a great pitcher.
Nice. He knows his stuff.
Yep, he can give you some advice.
0-2 now. Hart to Martin, breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. And boy, is Hart in the groove right now.
Tell you what, he just came back strong after that first inning, Brian. And he's doing a nice job.
Again, a recap. Hart, after he gave up 2 runs in that bottom of the first, struck out the side in the bottom of the second. Hunter Chukchak reached on an infield single in the third. That was it, and that was kind of a seeing eye single as it went off the second base bag, and the Warriors got kind of a bad break there and a swing and a miss from Grego, and he, just like that, has a strike on him.
Well, he has 5 strikeouts now in the last 3+ innings. And really settled down after that first, after giving up a couple hits and a couple runs.
He had Uphold, Odom, and Mayer retired in order in the bottom half of the fourth.
Yeah, and really nobody outside of Chukchak in that hit, nobody really hitting the ball that hard either, Brian. We had a fly out to right field by Thomas, a couple pop-ups on the infield, and basically 3 ground balls. So he's really gotten a groove here.
Now 2 strikes on the freshman Austin Grego as Hart winds and fires. And Grego getting that one over the outstretched glove of Nate Radiga at second base and into right field. Cherepko's quick relay comes in, and the Red Raiders a much-needed 1-out single to right for the freshman Austin Grego here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
Yeah, and more importantly, brings up the top of the order in Christian Thomas. We said Thomas was 3 for 5 yesterday against Elizabeth Forward. 0 for 2 here today, but has scored a run and got on an error in the first inning and then flew out, as we mentioned, to right field. But his third at bat now, he's looking to tie this game up.
Came in with a .294 average and 3 RBIs. Again, he pitched 7 scoreless innings against the Warriors yesterday, and a big-time fastball in there for a strike from Isaiah Hart, who's done a nice job mixing up his pitches as well over the last couple of innings.
Yes, he has. A nice spot there, catching the outside corner on that pitch to Thomas.
Thomas behind 0-1. Now Hart's 0-1 pitch, breaking ball. And off of his position there was Thomas, and now Thomas with 2 strikes on.
Yeah, Thomas just a little bit ahead of that pitch. I think he was looking again for a fastball. Got an off-speed pitch there and just a little bit out front of it.
Count out at 0-2. Get a big game for the Red Raiders, a game back of that final playoff spot. The conference throw over to first, close play, barely back. Safely there, Austin Grego.
Tell you what, I was just going to say that Grego has a big lead And I would worry about Alvarez shooting it down, but I'll tell you what, that play was close, and he didn't slide back in or dive back in. Yeah, it was pretty close.
Check swing, not going though, was Thomas. Pitch was low, and they're going to appeal. And the base umpire says he did not go either.
Yeah, he checked up. He was able to hold back on that swing, and nice job by Thomas, though. He was fooled on that pitch again. I think he was looking for dead red, and he got the breaking ball.
From the stretch again, Thomas 2 strikes on him. Hart's pitch, a fastball, and Thomas, another well-positioned hit in the gap in right center field. The Red Raiders go station to station. Staying at second, Grego, the quick relay coming in there from right center. And 2 singles from Grego and Thomas have the Red Raiders with 2 on and 1 out.
Yeah, and this is a big inning here for them, as we said. If they can put across a run just to tie this game up. You can see the Elizabeth Warriors with a little bit of momentum right now, but Thomas with a nicely placed hit, as you said, kind of in the gap there, and Grego really couldn't go much further than second base. So now you have Chuck, who's got a hit in his last time at bat.
How's that seeing eye single off the second base bag? Takes the first pitch here, though, for a strike, 0-1. Again, the Red Raiders trying to earn that split and stay within striking distance of a playoff spot in the conference. And they won't play another conference game till the week of April 23rd. They're off in the conference next week, so you don't want to go into that little conference layoff period, even though they'll play a pair with Albert Gallatin and also play Baldwin to stay sharp. You want to stay within striking distance, stay relevant at this juncture of the season. Don't want to have to make up too much ground over the final stretch.
It's interesting how they have that, though. I mean, that's tough to take a week off in between section play.
One hopper. We have 7 teams in the conference.
Right.
So you basically have 7 weeks of play, and you'll play 6 of the 7 weeks as far as conference games are concerned. That just happens to be next week's Uniontown's week without any conference games. Then you have Bell Vernon, who had a series last week postponed against West Mifflin due to COVID issues. They have to play 4 conference games next week. They'll play Laurel Highlands Monday and Tuesday, West Mifflin Friday and Saturday, and going around there for strike 3, Chuck Check. Second strikeout of the inning for Isaiah Hart. And now 2 on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
Tate Musco coming in. Musco 0 for 2, but he's going to chat with his dad here for a minute and see what's going on.
They figure, Tony, this will actually mark the midway point of the conference season for Uniontown. 12 conference games scheduled, and this will be number 6.
That's scary, isn't it?
And again, a win puts them at 3-3 in the conference. A loss, you're sitting at 2-4 with ground to make up.
Right.
Tate Musco hit in that fielder's choice, actually retired 1-3. And then grounded out 6-3 back in the 3rd inning. So he's 0 for 2 today.
Right. Looking for a big hit here. Outfield straight away. And again, Thomas not being held on first, so he's able to get a big lead.
That pitch in there for a strike to Musco. 6 strikeouts recorded by Isaiah Hart so far in this game for Elizabeth Forward.
6 strikeouts and only 1 walk.
Correct. That was back in the 1st inning. Walk Colton Sparks.
Right.
Now the 0-1, little one hopper. Good block there from Luke Alvarez, the catcher.
Alvarez does a nice job behind the dish.
He does.
No doubt, yeah. He's made a couple nice blocks, and like I said, he's got a pretty decent arm as well. Grego there trying to shade him, keep him close to second base. As we said, Thomas, he's going to be able to get a huge lead at first. So if Musco can put anything in a gap, I would not doubt if Thomas is able to score.
Count at 1-1. That pitch high and outside. Now 2-1.
And there, like I said, at this point, be a big hit for Musco and give the freshman a lot of confidence.
Get one in the gap, you can actually give your team the lead back.
Yes, you could.
That one missing just below the knees to Tate Musco.
Yeah, a little bit inside as well. I think Hart might have wanted that call, but didn't get it. On deck is going to be Sparks, as the catcher.
A big spot in this game as we work here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Red Raiders down 3-2. And Musco going opposite field left, and that one's going to be caught by A.J. Palmer in front of the big fence out there on the left. to end the inning. So what a grab from Palmer, robbing Musco of an extra base hit. We'll go to the top of the 6th, still 3-2 Elizabeth Ford over Uniontown here on the CR Parana Group High School Sports Day broadcast presented by Penn Residential Incorporated.
It's Gary Sisson from Sisson Pre-Owned. If you're looking for a great used car at a great price, give us a call at 724-438-2819 or visit us on the web at sissonpreowned.com. During these trying times, we are doing everything 100% online, from financing to virtual walkarounds and home delivery. Visit us on the web at sissonpreowned.com or give us a call, 724-438-2819.
With the rest of the world, Peachin Pharmacy is following the developments of the COVID-19 pandemic. Your safety is a priority at Peachin Pharmacy. For prescriptions, you have many options. Peachin's offers free delivery, free mail, and curbside pickup. If you come into the store, Peachin's follows all of the CDC and state safety recommendations. As always, if you have concerns about your medications, call 724-626-9600 or visit Peachin Pharmacy inside the Peachin Market in Connellsville or online at peachinpharmacy.com. Penn Residential Inc., a human services agency providing 24-hour, around-the-clock services and supports for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Their residential homes are located in local communities offering residents quality care while encouraging autonomy. They're a fast-growing company offering rewarding employment opportunities to those interested in making positive impacts in the lives of others. For information about career opportunities, visit PennResidentialInc.com/careers, email info@PennResidentialInc.com, or call 724-635-0048.
Brian Rozek, Tony Hanola back here at Bailey Park in Uniontown. Had a chance in between innings to chat with our mayor, Bill Gerke, here today.
Right. You were thanking him early on, and he shows up, and there it is.
So the Warriors up 3-2, batting here in the top of the 6th. Nate Radicka, Isaiah Hart, and Logan Cherepko facing Eric Odom. Retired EF in order. Last half inning, there's a ground ball to third. Grego throw over to first in time to Tate Musco, and Radicka retired 5-3 for the first out of this top of the 6th inning. I want to share the story about them here. You think I'll get in trouble for that one, Tone?
Nah.
Okay.
I think you'd be okay.
So I want to first off say I really like the DA, Rich Bauer, did a great job. We're down at a press conference earlier on today, and he was thanking Mayor Gerke for being there. Mentioned Thomas Gerke, mayor of Uniontown, doing a great job. He said most folks know him as Mike. So Mayor Gerke told us earlier today he's been taking so much abuse all day because everybody around's calling him Mike.
Yeah, he might be able to use that in the political world.
Yes, maybe.
Go talk to Mike.
Go talk to Mike.
Don't talk to me.
Go talk to Mike. At the plate, Isaiah Hart going around there against Eric Odom. 3-2 game. Warriors leading the Uniontown Red Raiders. Elizabeth Ford getting their 3 runs in the top of the 4th. Uniontown got their 2 in the bottom of the 1st.
Tell you what, though, good baseball game, Brian.
It is.
We've seen some nice plays defensively, and let's see if we can see one here.
Charging from right and making the grab, Christian Thomas. Another nice play out in the field, this time coming from Thomas, retiring Hart for the second out of this top of the 6th inning.
Yeah, Thomas showed a lot of speed to get to that flare, and a nice job. And we saw, as we said, that catch in that last inning by Palmer. I actually thought he was going to get burnt.
I did too.
He took that one step in, and he was able to recover, but, man, he made a fantastic catch there.
First pitch swinging here again, and this one will drop in front of Christian Thomas. Quentin charging at that one. 2-out single from Logan Cherepko.
Cherepko with a little bleeder right there, but perfectly placed, as you said. Thomas with no chance to get that one.
Could have Carl Lewis out there when I caught up to that one.
I don't think Usain Bolt or Carl Lewis, either one of them could have got to that. That was perfect right there, just inside the line, maybe by about a foot.
Now Luke Alvarez at the plate, struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning, walked back in the 4th, and actually recorded the last out of that 4th inning. Was retired 7-2-5 down at third base.
Yeah, as we said, the old 7-2-5 out. We've seen it twice.
Twice today, yep. Takes the first pitch here for strike 1.
Nice frame job there on that pitch by Sparks to kind of pull that one back in.
Have some Little Leaguers getting set to play a game, probably over at the softball field here at Bailey. Good to see the complex being used for some Little League games as well. Not sure what league that would be playing down here.
I don't know. It might be a little...
maybe a softball league down there? Jerry's telling me girls softball down there.
I don't know. Looks like maybe even a coach pitch team.
Yep. Good to see the complex getting a lot of use.
Back in the day, it used to have a lot of use, boy. But then it kind of dried up for a while, and it's good to see the high school team playing here again. Now, that's the key.
Yeah, we were going up to the mountains for a good while. Games up there. That one getting through on the left side past the outstretched glove of Austin Grego. Tanner Uphold with the relay coming in, and they're able to hold Logan Cherepko down to third. You still have Alvarez at first, is actually halfway down between first and second. So give Alvarez a single to left. Back-to-back singles now from Cherepko and Alvarez. Have the Warriors with runners on the corners up 3-2 as we work here in the top of the sixth inning.
Yeah, nice effort there by Grego to give the dive there to try to knock that ball down, but that ball had some steam on it. Grego just couldn't get to it. And a nice shot there by Alvarez to pick up a hit. That's going to bring up Mervis.
And Nico Mervos, sac fly RBI last time up. Struck out swinging during his first at-bat back in the second inning. Big spot here as the Warriors look for an insurance run up 3-2.
And Alvarez with a decent lead. Musco holding him on.
And I thought you might see Alvarez take off and decided to go back to the first base bag there.
A little bit different now with 2 outs. Before when they had 1 out and runners on the corners, they didn't advance at that point in time. So I'm not so sure I'd give it a shot there. Sparks looks like he has a decent arm. Not sure what kind of speed Alvarez has. I'm sure he's quick.
That one nub foul here on the near side.
But I don't know if you want to take that chance and leave that runner on third, being up only 1 run here in the top of the 6th inning.
Warriors up 3-2.
We'll see what Coach Champ decides to do, though, here, Brian.
Mervos came in with a .230 average and 6 RBIs. Odom another long look in. Glance over at first.
Not much of a lead there.
Now throw over. They're going to have a rundown here with Alvarez caught and tagged out at second base to end the inning.
Yeah, just caught him leaning. And a nice move there, and that play normally never works.
No. So Alvarez, who was cut out at third earlier, now out at second in this top half of the 6th inning. Went to the bottom of the 6th, still 3-2. Warriors over the Red Raiders. Broadcast presented by Penn Residential Incorporated, C.R. Bronick Group High School Sports Day.
Visit C. Harper Chevy and drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox with all-wheel drive for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Residency restrictions apply while supplies last. Sale ends May 3rd, 2021. Call a dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000 or visit CHarperChevy.com.
Casey Sports Cafe, owned by the Vernon family, is located on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown. Casey's has reopened for dine-in services with new hours, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday and Sunday 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Meals are home-cooked and range from a variety of steaks, chicken and veal parmesan, liver and onions, along with appetizers, salads, wings, and sandwiches. Casey's offers free delivery in the Uniontown area with purchases of $10 or more. Phone 724-550-4126 for Casey Sports Cafe.
Attorneys from all over the state and nation advertise in southwestern Pennsylvania for personal injury and workers' comp cases. But most of them send their assistants to do the legwork. You might not even meet your attorney until your first hearing.
We're local attorneys, Davis & Davis. We meet directly with our clients, including free consultation, and there are no fees until you receive money on your case. If you've been injured, call Davis & Davis, representing you and your neighbors yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Phone 724-437-2799.
A nice afternoon for baseball. We're here at Bailey Park in Uniontown. The Elizabeth Forward Warriors a 3-2 lead over the Uniontown Red Raiders. Red Raiders with 6 outs left to work with. They'll have Colton Sparks, Tanner Uphold, and Eric Odom due up here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
All right, so I have to do this, and I know it's not a sponsor yet.
That's all right.
But
maybe it could be, which is always a good thing.
It could be. So we're going to give a shout-out to Amy's Quilt Room and the ladies down there. Actually, Christian Thomas is the grandson of Amy's aunt for Christian Thomas. So we'll give him a shout-out because they're down there watching the game.
Is your wife down there quilting today as well?
Yes, she's down there, as well as my daughter today. So she got her roped in today. So
wow.
Yeah, I don't ask.
They're not bothering you, so that's a good thing, right?
It. Nope. Everything's good, but we want to tell the ladies hi and thanks for watching.
Colton Sparks, first pitch swinging, sends it foul on the left side behind 0-1. So the Red Raiders picking up their 2 runs in this game in the bottom of the first inning and haven't had a lot to work with since. Had the infield single from Chuck Jack back in the third. Did have 2 singles from Grego and Thomas in succession in the 5th inning, but that did not materialize. And now 2 strikes on Colton Sparks. First Red Raider up here in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, it's funny, Brian. We mentioned that catch by Mayer was going to be the play of the game, but right now, that catch by Palmer in the last inning is the play of the game right now. So
and that swing and a missed strike 3, but they have to make the throw, and it's a gun down to first, and out at first is Colton Sparks. Goes in the books as a strikeout, but a nice job there, Alvarez down to Wardropper to complete it the only way the Warriors could get it done after the ball was dropped there initially from Alvarez on the called strike 3.
Yeah, but that last inning was the only thing that Alvarez has done wrong here today, and that getting picked off.
Correct.
He wasn't very happy about, but it's one of those things. And now let's see what happens. Looks like, what's the stoppage in play here? I don't know. Is it an equipment thing or sunglasses maybe? Oh, there we go. Actually, we're seeing some sun. Yeah, so Marvos is going to go for the sunglasses out in center field.
His little thumbs up.
Yeah.
Alvarez had some family members. Lauren Alvarez checking in on our Facebook Live feed, rooting on her family member.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's a nice catcher. He's been impressive today. I like his game, no doubt.
Now at the plate for the Red Raiders, Tanner Uphold. 1 out now as we work here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah.
And a 3-2 lead for Elizabeth Ford over Uniontown.
Yeah, and Uphold 1 for 3 on the day. He singled his first time up and grounded out. Actually, a nice play by Wardroper on the grounder down to first and pitched it over to Hart for the out. So Tanner 0 for 2 today.
Here's some church bells in the distance. Uphold came in with a .375 average and 2 RBI. Showing bunt here. Pitching there for a strike. So nobody on, but still showing bunt. Surprise, surprise.
I think he was trying to throw that ball down to third base. I mean, the infielders are playing pretty deep on the corners especially, and I think if he could have got that down, he probably would have got a base hit out of it, but kind of stabbed at it a little bit and got called for a strike.
Hart's next pitch, and just like that, 3 pitches, and down with another strikeout. Uphold retired, and back-to-back strikeouts from Isaiah Hart in this inning.
I only have him at 6 pitches, so he's trying for the trifecta here on 9 pitches. Let's see what happens. Let's see if Odom can change this and maybe get a base hit.
He did strike out the side back in the 2nd inning, sending down Mayer, Martin, and Grego, but that was on more than 9 pitches.
Right.
First pitch misses there low, so unless he gets it's not going to be a strikeout with 9 pitches.
Nope. Might get out of the inning with 9
Correct.
pitches. Had a couple innings there where he only threw 8. And that's really kept him in the ball game here so far. He's thrown, up to this point, 84 pitches unofficially.
Counting out 2-0 to Eric Odom. Odom picking up the only 2 RBIs the Red Raiders have had so far in this game.
And yeah, with that single in the first inning that scored
Thomas and Hawk, the courtesy runner for Sparks. That pitch in there for a strike. Now 2-1 to Eric Odom.
Yeah, and you hope the church bells mean some divine intervention.
Yes, the Red Raiders could use it right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Down a run of 3-2. Need a base runner right now with 2 outs here in this bottom of the 6th inning. Next pitch to Odom in there for a strike, and we're even at 2-2.
Tough pitch to take right there. 2-2 with 2 outs. And Mayer waiting anxiously on deck, hoping this inning's extended.
Red Raiders with one last crack in the bottom of the 7th inning. If they can't tie it up here, and that pitch inside, and now we're full of 3-2.
Ooh, that one was tough to take right there. That was a great pitch by Hart. Odom fortunate that ball was called a ball.
Here we go, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hart looking to strike out the side again for Elizabeth Forward. Payoff pitch on the way to Odom. Just got a piece of it, nubbing it foul here on the near side. We remain at 3-2.
And as you said, Brian has had a strikeout in each of the last 5 innings. after not recording a strikeout in the first. He's got 8 strikeouts so far for the day.
Very impressive. Looking for number 9 right here. What's his pitch count at, Tony, at this juncture of the game?
I have him at 88.
88. Still a little operating room, but that could come into play in the 7th inning.
Yeah, it depends on what they have bullpen-wise. I mean, you don't know. And as we said with that 10-inning game yesterday, you don't know what kind of pitching they used or have.
Payoff pitch and a called strike 3. So Odom punched out. Once again, Hart strikes out the side. The Red Raiders will have 3 outs to work with in the bottom of the 7th inning. Elizabeth Ford an opportunity to add on, though, in the top half of the inning. Again, our broadcast presented by Penn Residential Inc. 3-2 Warriors over the Red Raiders heading to the 7th here on the CR Product Group High School Sports Day.
Penn Residential is a fast-growing human services agency currently seeking full-time and part-time direct support professionals to provide direct care and support for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities inside residential homes within local communities. If you are seeking a rewarding experience by making a difference in the lives of others, Penn Residential Incorporated wants to hear from you. Their direct support professionals partner with adults and children with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their circles of support to help them achieve independence, growth, and happiness through high-quality creative services. Candidates must possess good communication skills, have a valid state driver's license, clean driving record over the past 3 years, and have reliable transportation. At Penn Residential, direct support professionals will receive full benefits after 90 days and a 401k retirement plan with 6% employer match. Benefits also include medical and prescription drug insurance, vision and dental insurance, accrued time off, life insurance, and holiday pay. Penn Residential is a licensed and qualified provider under Pennsylvania's DPW's Office of Developmental Programs. Their homes serve residents in Fayette, Washington, and Westmoreland counties in southwestern Pennsylvania. For more information about current career opportunities, visit PennResidentialInc.com/careers, or to schedule an interview, email info@PennResidentialInc.com or call 724-635-0048. Penn Residential Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Ryan Rozak, Tony Hanula back here at Bailey Park in Uniontown. Moving to the top of the 7th inning, Nico Mervos, A.J. Palmer, and A.J. Wardropper due up here for the Warriors. Warriors lead it 3-2 over the Uniontown Red Raiders.
Yeah, and a big inning for both teams right now. Obviously, Elizabeth Forward trying to tack on some insurance, and Odom trying to hold them and let the Red Raiders have one more shot at closing this one-run gap.
Odom's done a nice job on the mound coming on in relief of Chuck Check. Came on to start the top of the 5th inning. Yet to yield a run. Swing and a miss there for Mervos. Sac fly RBI for Mervos last time up. Struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning.
Right. Yeah, one of the 3 RBIs, I'm sorry, for Mervos today. The Elizabeth Forward team, I should say. Mervos with 1. Isaiah Hart with 1, and A.J. Palmer with 1.
0-1 now on the way, and that pitch in there for strike 2. And 2 quick strikes on Nico Mervos.
And you're right, Odom's done a nice job. He's come in and only thrown 19 pitches in those 2 innings, Brian. Really kept Elizabeth Forward off stride here right now.
Retire the Warriors in succession in the 5th inning to give up 2 singles, but Alvarez caught in between 1st and 2nd, ended the top of the 6th inning. That pitch misses low for ball 1, so 1-2 now to Nico Mervos. 6'1", 200-pound senior came in with a .230 average and 6 RBIs. For Frank Champ's squad.
It's the RBIs that count, though. Came in with 6 and added 1 today.
1-2, little one-hopper there, blocked by Colton Sparks. Count now even at 2-2.
Yeah, we've seen a pretty good game, as we said. Only, 1 error? And that was in the 1st inning. And that was on that shot down by Thomas. So outside of that, we've seen a pretty clean game overall. Some good defense by both teams.
2-2 now. Odom to Mervos. Breaking ball in there for strike 3, and Mervos punched out. 2nd strikeout in relief for Odom. And 1 out recorded here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, I don't think Mervos thought that was a strike, but I'll tell you what, that was a nice off-speed pitch there by Odom. Perfectly placed on the outside corner, so nice job. Mervos goes down, so 1 out now, and that's going to bring up A.J. Palmer, who singled in the go-ahead run, his last at bat in the 4th inning.
And Alvarez retired after that RBI single 7-2-5 to end the inning, and Palmer takes ball 1 low here. Mentioned Palmer's great catch out there in left field as well. One of the reasons I think the Warriors still have the lead at 3-2.
Definitely. We'd have to, at this point in time, that's the play of the game right now.
We're seeing some action in the Elizabeth Ford bullpen right now as well as that pitch misses high and inside. Now 2-0 to A.J. Palmer.
Yeah, you got to do something. I mean, you have Hart has 89 pitches by my unofficial count, so even at that, I'm not so sure he's going to be able to get through an inning with just 11. But
Nate Radica loosening up, swing and a miss there from A.J. Palmer. Count now at 2-1. So Radica trying to stay loose. He might be the relief option for the Elizabeth Ford Warriors in the bottom half of the 7th. We'll see if they start with Hart or would go straight to Radica. You would think you'd give Hart the opportunity to get the complete game, especially as effective as he's been as of late. That pitch missed inside, now 3-1 to A.J. Palmer.
I would definitely, even if he comes in and gets the first 2 outs, you got to bring him in to start the 7th inning, no doubt.
3-1 on the way, and this ball line drive into center field, bouncing in front of Andrew Mayer. And aboard with a 1-out single is A.J. Palmer.
Palmer, 2 singles his last 2 at-bats, and as we said, that big RBI keeps this inning alive, and that's going to bring up Wardropper.
Palmer 2 for 3 today. We mentioned he came in with that 176 average. That'll go up in a hurry, especially here early on in the season.
Hell yeah, you figure tack on 667 for today.
And Wardropper at the plate came with a 357 average. Takes strike 1 here.
And Palmer, the junior, keeping this inning alive.
Count 0-1 now to A.J. Wardropper. Again, that'd be a nice experience for these Warrior kids to play up at Showers Field in DuBois this past week. Checo the runner. Again, they're playing the Small College World Series this year, and it's actually for those USCAA teams the first time in over a year that there's been any competition at all in the USCAA. Had the entire spring season wiped out last year, did not play any fall sports or winter sports. They had the entire basketball season wiped out this past winter as well, so good to see USCAA squads, including our local team here, Penn State Fayette, and the USCAA, which actually has a couple of local Uniontown and Laurel Highlands kids on their roster participating during the spring season as well.
Yeah, and we definitely missed the basketball season. There's no doubt about that.
Another throw over to first, and that one getting away from Musco.
Getting away, but there's really not a whole lot of room here in foul territory, so Palmer had no place to go. Yeah, I'd actually seen Lou Zadecki at one of the games down at Hutchinson, and that's what he said. Tell Brian we miss seeing him.
Yep.
We miss seeing you guys.
I miss seeing those guys, too.
Yeah, it makes 2 of us.
Next pitch on the way, and this ball hit high in the air. Andrew Mayer getting under it in center field. The sun shining. Mayer makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Actually was talking earlier in the week to Marcus Thomas. They're holding a benefit golf outing in the summer months as well, trying to do a little fundraising for the Penn State Fayette basketball team. That'll be good as well. And you really feel for all those kids having an entire season wiped out the way they did.
Oh, that's tough to take.
And all the fundraising and all these sports has really been cut into as well, because you really couldn't have any kind of gatherings, whether it's a lot of the sales they do or the golf outings last year. And it's been tough. Runner going here. Swing and a miss from Burke, and getting down a second is A.J. Palmer in a scoring position.
Yeah, he took off on the first pitch, and I don't blame him. He got the bottom of the order up here in Burke, but at least get Palmer in scoring position. Burke flew out to the shortstop, as we mentioned the first time up, and grounded out to short the second time up. So 0 for 2 here today, but looking to plate this all-important insurance run if he can get a base hit with Palmer on second base.
The Red Raiders, by the way, will have the bottom of their order due up in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Mayer, Martin, and Grego were combined 1 for 6. Only hit coming from Grego, and 5 strikeouts in that bunch as well. This ball popped up high in the air. Tony, can you make a play on it? And he did. Tony Hanula making the play.
Did you get that on TV, Jer? My man. My man.
Good job there from Tony. I can go watch the replay right now.
You like that, huh?
Yep.
See that?
I was getting up just in case.
You were running away. Where you going? Yeah. He's running away. I caught it. What are you going to do? I saved your life, Brian.
You didn't save my life. The next line drive comes scurrying over here. Then you can jump in front of that one.
That's why there's fence there.
Yeah. Good job, though, making the catch.
Yeah. I was worried. I didn't want to miss it. I'd have got booed.
Yeah. It's a tough spot for either way. You came through, though, under the pressure you were feeling out here at Bailey Park, and that one a low bouncer in front of Sparks. Runner, though, holds his position. Palmer over at second. Kind of lost where the count's at right now with all that going on.
Yeah, I know. We're having too much fun. Waiting for the umpire to give us a signal as to what the count is.
Yeah, Burke at the plate. He's 0 for 2.
At least we know there's 2 outs.
Yes, 2 outs here in the inning.
My catch didn't get a credit for a third.
No.
Out, so.
Warriors up 3-2. Odom on the mound for the Red Raiders. The next pitch.
Just a little
dismissed.
High. Yep, just a little high.
It's either 2-2 or 3-2.
Yeah, I think it's 3-2. It's tough to see through this fence, but I think he's full count.
So Odom trying to finish off Burke with Palmer in scoring position. Red Raiders will have 3 outs to work with here in the bottom half of the inning. Pitch on the way, called strike 3. It was close on the outside corner, but Odom got the call. And that's his 3rd strikeout in relief. Red Raiders down 1. They'll have 3 outs to work with in the bottom of the 7th when we come back. CR Barada Group High School Sports Day broadcast presented by Penn Residential Incorporated.
Visit C. Harper Chevy and drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox with all-wheel drive for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is for tax, title fees, and first payments. Residency restrictions apply. While supplies last. Sale ends May 3rd, 2021. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000 or visit charperchevy.com.
Penn Residential Inc., a human services agency providing 24-hour, around-the-clock services and supports for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Their residential homes are located in local communities offering residents quality care while encouraging autonomy. They're a fast-growing company offering rewarding employment opportunities to those interested in making positive impacts in the lives of others. For information about career opportunities, visit PennResidentialInc.com/careers, email info@PennResidentialInc.com, or call 724-635-0048.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to SproulsInsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Back here for the bottom of the 7th inning. Tony's still getting congratulations for that catch he made in the top half of the 7th inning. It's Mayer, Martin, and Grego due up here for the Red Raiders. They need a run, at least, to extend this game, 2 to win it.
They'll need a run and maybe more importantly need to try to be patient and get the pitch count up a little bit on Hart.
What do you have him unofficially on again?
I had him unofficially at 89. Now,
this will be pitch number 90. Which misses high for ball 1 to Andrew Mayer. Mayer 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Okay, we got corrected here, so it's 86 pitches. Uniontown first base coach gave us his count. So, yeah, so they got 86. So 87 now.
This will be 88.
It's
in there for a strike.
Yep.
And 1-1 now to Andrew Mayer.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough, really. I mean, 14 pitches. It's going to be tough. You got to foul a few off and kind of keep it going, but
1-1 on the way, and this one is fouled off, so now moves to 1-2. We mentioned these guys in the bottom of the order last half inning, just 1 for 6 so far in this game. 5 strikeouts between Mayer, Martin, and Grego. The only hit in that bunch, a single from Grego back in the 5th inning.
Right.
1-2 now. Hart to Mayer. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3.
Okay. Yep.
Catcher Alvarez tag him out just to make sure.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he fouled that off or not. Umpire gave a safe signal then as soon as he tagged him out, so that's the first out.
Not a good start for the Red Raiders, down to 2 outs to work with here in the bottom of the 7th. Aiden Martin also 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Sophomore DH today came with a .231 average and 3 RBI. Swings and misses at the first pitch from Isaiah Hart. And again, if you're just joining us, Hart yielded 2 runs to the Red Raiders in the bottom of the 1st inning, but hasn't given up one since. Eric Odom, 2 RBI, single to left. Drove in Thomas and the courtesy runner Hawk, and now 2 strikes. on Martin.
And he's still throwing with pretty good velocity here, Brian, even in the 7th inning. Looking good. Really nice pitching job.
Swing and a miss, and down goes Martin.
So now 11 strikeouts.
And 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning with Austin Grego, who did pick up a hit last time up, single to right field. Behind him, the top of the order. You need to find a way to get Grego on here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, got to keep the inning alive. You're only down 1. Try to get to the top. Get Christian Thomas, the sophomore, who's 1 for 3 here today.
First one in tight there to Grego. And even if Hartwood hit 100 pitches facing Grego, he has the opportunity to complete facing the current batter.
I have him at 8, and as you said, the coach said 86, so he's at 94. I'm not so sure he's even going to get to 100.
Finds the strike zone there to even have to count at 1-1 now to Grego.
Right. So this could be his last batter either way.
This would be a big win for Elizabeth Forward. They'd stay in the mix with the top dogs in the conference, and the Red Raiders will have some thinking to do over their conference bye week. Try to make up some ground over the second half of this season. This will be the end of this game, will be the midway points of the conference season already for the Red Raiders. Play 12 conference games. They'd have 6 in, and will be sitting at 2-4 unless they can make a comeback happen here. And now they're down to their final strike. 2-2 to Austin Grego. Warriors trying to finish it off. Isaiah Hart has struck out 5 straight. Struck out the side in the 6th. Could he strike out the side here in the 7th? 2-2 pitch to Austin Grego on the way. Called strike 3. So what a performance from Isaiah Hart, especially here in the closing innings. Ends the game with 6 straight strikeouts as the Elizabeth Forward Warriors rally from an early 2-0 deficit and defeat the Uniontown Red Raiders and sweep the series this week over Uniontown in 2 one-run games, 3-2 yesterday in 10 innings and 3-2 here today in regulation. Elizabeth Forward 5-1 overall, 3-1 in the conference, loss dropping Uniontown to 3-4 overall, 2-4 in conference play. And we're back to tell you all about it here on the post-game show and our broadcast presented by Penn Residential Inc. This is the CR Piranha Group High School Sports Day.
Hi, I'm Russ Plaho, your local Allstate agent. The number 21 has always had a special meaning to me. When I was young, it meant reaching adulthood. As a lifelong Pirates fan, the number 21 meant one thing, the great Roberto Clemente. 3,000 hits, MVP, World Series hero. But more than that, a great humanitarian who will always be remembered for losing his life in a rescue mission to help those in need. And now, the number 21 represents my 21st anniversary as your local Allstate agent. I would like to think that, like Roberto, I know the importance of community involvement as well as helping neighbors. Over the past 21 years, my staff and I have committed ourselves to learning about our customer needs and personalizing protection for them. From bundling auto, home, and life insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverages based on their protection needs. Are you in good hands? Call me, Russ Plaho, at 724-439-9700 or stop by my office on Lebanon Avenue today for a free quote.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
With the rest of the world, Peachin Pharmacy is following the developments of the COVID-19 pandemic. Your safety is a priority at Peachin Pharmacy. For prescriptions, you have many options. Peachin's offers free delivery, free mail, and curbside pickup. If you come into the store, Peachin's follows all of the CDC and state safety recommendations. As always, if you have concerns about your medications, call 724-626-9600 or visit Peachin Pharmacy inside the Peachin Market in Connellsville or online at peachinpharmacy.com.
Spring forward to home construction season. First Federal of Greene County's variety of construction and improvement loans puts you in charge of your dream home project. First Federal gives you all of the tools you need with construction loans, owner-builder loans, FHA Title I improvement loans, and home equity loans. With offices in Fayette, Greene, and Washington counties, your loan stays here. Visit a First Federal loan officer today or apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729.
When your car is damaged, the name to remember is Ted Silva and Son Body and Fender Repair. Currently in their 57th year of providing quality, reliable service to the community, Ted Silva and Son offers complete collision service, minor to major repairs, frame and unibody repair, and glass installation. They will gladly blueprint your vehicle for repair, and they will work with your insurance company. With a paint booth that utilizes the environmentally friendly waterborne paint process, Ted Silva and Son not only cares for our community and our children, they care for our environment. Located on Atlas Road in Hopwood, it is the goal of Ted Silva and Son to alleviate the stress of an accident and assist you in any way possible. Family owned and operated for 57 years. Call 724-437-2351 for Ted Silva and Son Body and Fender Repair, LLC. Proud to sponsor local high school sports.
Elizabeth Ford, a 3-2 come from behind win over Uniontown this afternoon at Bailey Park. Here's Tony to tell you all about it.
All right, your final tallies for the victorious Elizabeth Forward Warriors. They scored 3 runs on 5 hits. They had committed 1 error, and they left 3 runners on base. For the Uniontown Red Raiders, they scored 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and they left 4 runners on base. The final numbers for Isaiah Hart, the winning pitcher, complete game 7 innings. He gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, both of them were earned. He gave up 1 walk and had 12 strikeouts in the win. Losing pitcher today is going to be Chuck Check. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 runs, 3 earned runs, only 2 hits, 3 bases on balls. He had 5 strikeouts. And Odom came in relief, pitched 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, no runs, no bases on balls, and he had 3 strikeouts in that relief appearance.
And my play of the game was A.J. Palmer's catch in left field, robbing Tate Musco of an extra base hit with 2 runners on, which could have given Uniontown the lead.
Without a doubt, Brian. And one thing we mentioned, too, even during the break, these teams played 17 innings in 2 days, and they scored the same amount, 3 runs for Elizabeth Forward in the 10th inning yesterday. In the 5th inning today, Uniontown 2 runs in the 10th inning and 2 runs in the 1st inning today. So both of these teams went 15 innings without scoring a run over the last 2 days, which is unbelievable. But evenly matched teams, and we saw a very good baseball game here today.
We enjoyed it from Bailey Park this afternoon. I'll wrap it up for Facebook Live. Back with one final segment on the radio side. 3-2 your final score, Warriors over the Red Raiders here on WMBS, the Triple I High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live. All right, Nick, you got us?
All right, what's up, guys?
Not much. Guess I'll see you midday then tomorrow.
Nicky!
Oh, yes.
Set the alarm clock.
Midday?
Well, yeah, because Bill's in the hospital.
What's the matter?
He said dehydration.